Thanks for watching this live stream of Marion High School athletics on the Wildcat Gameday. The action is brought to you by the Swinford Media Group and all of our sponsors. Watermark Auto Group, John A. Logan College, Black Diamond Family of Businesses, Illinois Army National Guard, Deaconess Illinois Medical Center, Binkley-Ross Funeral Home, Legence Bank, First Southern Bank, Bank of Herrin, Banterra Bank, Garner State Farm Insurance, Paul Jacobs for Senate, SouthernTrust Bank, Marion Plumbing, Austin Dickson, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Anderson Boys Trash Service, The Roofing Guys, Anderson's Furniture, SIU Credit Union, Clark Natural Stone, Kemper CPA Group, Wit Wisdom, The Hub Recreation Center, The Print Shop, Blush and Ivory Bridal Boutique,
Hello and welcome to a special homecoming edition of the Marion Stars Wildcat Game Day. We are live from Wildcat Stadium on the campus of Marion High School, where the host Marion Wildcats will welcome Collinsville to town for a homecoming battle and a matchup of two 3-3 teams looking to keep their playoff hopes alive.
Yeah, and you always want to win on homecoming first and foremost. Before the season, when you talk about big games that you want to circle on your calendar, you talk about the season opener, conference games, and of course senior night. The probably biggest of them all, Riley, is homecoming, and you always want to win then. With a big crowd expected, it's a great night for football. Fall weather is officially here, and oh yeah, the Wildcats just flat out need a win after back-to-back losses to Cahokia and Centralia. After a great start to the season at 3-1 and winning 3 straight after losing to Carterville by 1 in the opener, Marion is sitting at 3-3 with 3 games to play. Marion must win 2 of those 3, Collinsville, Carbondale, and Mattoon, to become playoff eligible. Wins in all 3 would guarantee a playoff berth. On the other side is Collinsville, who is also 3-3 and is heating up after a slow start to their season, and they have the same stakes on the line for their postseason hopes. So there's lots to play for here tonight. One
other storyline to note, Gage, 2 years ago when Collinsville was the opponent for this game on homecoming, the senior class, when they were sophomores, the K-Hawks came in here and stuck it to Marion 57-0 in 2023. So you know that's been discussed in the Marion locker room this week. It's the Collinsville K-Hawks, it's the Marion Wildcats, it's homecoming live on the Marion Stars Wildcat Game Day. The Binkley-Ross Funeral Home pregame show is next.
Hi Wildcat fans, I'm Brad Poole, president of the Watermark Auto Group. I invite you to come experience the fastest, friendliest, and fairest car buying in our little corner of the world. Our friendly sales representatives will provide you in writing with our best price, trade value, monthly payments, all within minutes of your request. No pressure, no hurdles, no tricks, and no surprises. Experience the Watermark difference for yourself at Watermark Ford Hyundai or Watermark Nissan of Marion. Fast, friendly, fair. That's Watermark.
KRS, what's been going on at the Marion Mall? You're in luck. October 3rd and 4th at the Oasis Grand Re-Unclosing, we aren't only showing off our RV and power sports inventory, we're showing off all the that's been going on inside the mall as well. More RVs, more ATVs, more You don't want to miss out. Trust us. Tons of new from the ones who more better. Oasis Power Sports and RV. We more better.
The teachers are really good, they're understanding.
All our faculty here teach from experience.
I love it. It's so hands-on.
They want to see us succeed.
There's so many options, so many things they can choose from.
I wasn't just another statistic out there.
My advisors and my professors have been very helpful.
I've felt completely at home from the first day.
Everyone has been so welcoming and helpful and encouraging. It's made it really easy. So I would for sure recommend John A.
This is the Binkley-Ross Funeral Home pregame show here live at Wildcat Stadium on the campus of Marion High School as we await the kickoff between the host Marion Wildcats and the visiting Collinsville Jayhawks in Week 7 of the high school football season. We're about 31 minutes away from kickoff. It's homecoming here at Wildcat Stadium tonight, and a big blue and gold clad crowd is expected, but if you're unable to make it, we'll have you covered here tonight as we're live for the duration of this game. I'm Riley Swinford, alongside Gage Johnson, Ross Swinford on the controls. Abby Collum is here helping out, and Herrin Price will be down on the field here in a bit. Gage, before we talk about this week's big matchup, let's first talk about last week's road loss to the Centralia Orphans on the road at Evers Field in Centralia. You were there with my dad, Bill, for the broadcast as the Wildcats lost their second straight game, dropping them to 3-3 overall and 1-2 in the South 7.
Yeah, an explosive first half turned into a blowout loss for the Marion Wildcats on the road last Friday night. So we'll see what adjustments Coach Dunning and the staff made to make sure that doesn't happen again tonight.
Let's go ahead and get into the recap of last week's game, courtesy of our William Bateman, who watched our stream and reported on it for this week's print edition of the Marion Star newspaper. The Wildcats were in trouble from the start as Centralia's sophomore quarterback Archie Guwai connected with 6'4" sophomore receiver Kenny Bratton to open the game, and that ended up being a theme. A face mask penalty moved the Orphans across midfield. Marion's Hudson Wade made a tackle for a 6-yard loss, but the Wildcats were called for interference on the next play. Guwai threw to Bratton again for 13 yards, and 2 plays later, Guwai found tight end Demetrius Gibson for an 18-yard touchdown pass.
Marion battled back after a botched squib kick by Centralia put them on their own 45 to start their first drive. Senior quarterback Callahan Roper got the ball to Junius Thomas on the first 2 plays for a total of 17 yards. On the next play, Thomas was the target once again, and the 6'2" senior juked defenders on a 38-yard touchdown to make it 7-7.
At that point, it seemed like it was going to be a close game, but the Orphans showed no signs of slowing down on their second drive with senior running back Michael Brown taking off for a 14-yard run. Guwai aired it out to Tyler Carruthers for catches of 29 and 20 yards, and Brown punched in the score from 2 yards out to make it 14-7.
Bratton intercepted Roper on Marion's next drive, giving Centralia possession at their own 38. Brown took off for a 21-yard run, and 2 plays later, Bratton brought in a pass for 18 yards and another score.
A flag for an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on the Orphans helped Marion out on the following drive. Adkins had a catch for 11 yards, and Winters ran for 10. Roper hooked up again with Adkins for a 24-yard touchdown pass, and the score was 21-14 with 2:14 still to play in the first.
Bratton returned the kick to midfield following drive. Then 3 running plays got the Orphans a first down before Guwai threw to Cruz Jackson for 6 more yards to end the frame. Centralia moved backwards 10 yards on a holding call to start the second, but Guwai launched the ball to Jackson again on the 6th play of the drive for a 43-yard touchdown. The Orphans were flagged on the point after and then fumbled the snap on a 2-point attempt, but they led 27-14.
The Wildcats had a strong start on their next drive. Hazel bulldozed his way 8 yards on the ground, and another run by Hazel got some penalty yards tacked on to move Marion to the Centralia 40. Winters had a catch for 6, but the drive hit a brick wall and the Wildcats turned it over on downs.
A highlight reel run from Brown was brought back on a holding call, but Guwai showed off his arm strength on a 59-yard throw to Bratton, who was wide open for the touchdown, with Centralia taking a 20-point lead 34-14.
Not to be outdone, Roper led the Wildcats back downfield in a hurry with a 67-yard touchdown pass to Logan Hoffman. A 2-point conversion attempt was no good, and Marion trailed by 14.
The teams traded punts, and Centralia took over again late in the quarter on the Marion 35. Caden Jacobs tackled Staten for a 5-yard loss on first down, but Guwai completed back-to-back passes for 20 yards. Gibson caught another pass and got out of bounds to stop the clock with a 10-yard gain, putting the Orphans on the 7-yard line. 3 plays later, Guai floated a pass to Bratton for the score and a 41-20 lead.
The Wildcats were called for holding on the first play of the next drive, moving them all the way back to their own 7 and leading to a 3-and-out. Centralia had one more chance to score in the half, starting inside the Marion side of the field at the 46. Gibson and Bratton had catches for 13 yards, and Guai threw to Jackson next, and the sophomore receiver cut through defenders and got down to the Marion 6 before Winters caught him and dragged him down.
That ended up being a big tackle because the Orphans were flagged on the next play and backed up to the 26. Guai had his biggest run of the game to make up 13 yards, and Marion sent the blitz on the next play. The duo of Wade and Henry pressured Guai into throwing the ball out of bounds. Henry and Jacobs got to Guai again on the next play and forced him to throw it out once more for a turnover on downs to end the half.
The second half was not as explosive as the first half. Marion punted to start the third quarter. The Orphans kept the ball on the ground with runs from Brown for 26 and 10 yards. The first throw of the drive was a 28-yarder to Bratton for a score, pushing the lead to 48.
Marion's next drive nearly ended in a pick 6 by Bratton, but the touchdown was called back on an illegal block. The teams traded punts, and then Guai threw to Jackson for a 30-yard touchdown on a one-play drive to extend the lead to 55-20.
The nail in Marion's coffin was a fumbled kick return at the end of the third. Centralia recovered the ball and had another touchdown called back for holding early in the fourth. The penalty put them at the Marion 25, but the Wildcats gave those yards back with a roughing call. Evan Francis kept the Orphans out of the end zone with a tackle for a 6-yard loss on fourth down.
With the game out of hand, Marion coach Jason Dunning sent in the reserves, with Broomfield and Patton Steinsoltz led the drive on the ground, and Weston Rudd got in on the action with an 11-yard carry. The Wildcats continued to pick up short yardage until Makai Chisholm broke a 13-yard run. Broomfield threw to Rudd for 6 more yards, and then Broomfield took it in the end zone himself from 4 yards out. Broomfield also added a 2-pointer to make the final score 55-28.
Now let's go inside the numbers of last week's loss, courtesy of Kemper CPA Group LLP, official stat sponsor all season long here on Wildcat Game Day.
Roper managed to pick up 195 yards through the air, but completed just 13 of 27 passes with 2 picks last week. Hoffman led Marion's receivers with 73 yards, while Thomas had 62 yards on 4 catches. 6 other players logged receptions. Marion had just 110 yards on 23 rushing attempts, with Steinsoltz finishing the game as their leading rusher with 24 yards.
Centralia improved to 5-1, while Marion dropped to 3-3. The Wildcats will host Collinsville here tonight. With 3 games left in the season, Marion needs 2 wins to be playoff eligible, 3 to guarantee a playoff spot. We'll be back with more of our Binkley-Ross Funeral Home pregame show right after this.
Hey y'all, it's me, Willie the Wildcat. I'm here to tell you about the official Wildcat Game Day shirts brought to you by Swinford Media Group. Whether you're cheering under the Friday night lights or packing the gym for basketball season, these shirts are the perfect way to show your Wildcat pride. Order yours now at swinfordmediagroup.com.
No matter the length of your journey, come discover the savings during the Columbus Day sale at Anderson's Family of Stores, where we've got savings of up to 25% off store-wide on thousands of items in stock and ready for immediate delivery, or receive up to 5 years no interest. And we provide same-day delivery on most mattresses, up to 25% off store-wide or 5 years interest-free financing at our Columbus Day sale, only at Anderson's Family of Stores.
Anderson's At Legence Bank, we make it easy to achieve your financial goals. Working with small businesses, farmers, and individuals, we strive to be your partner in convenient, local, and personalized banking solutions. From investing in your priorities to helping our community grow, we're committed to making a difference at Legence Bank.
I always know I can count on the people at Legence to answer my questions and connect me to the services I need.
We have you covered with a range of fraud prevention tools to keep your accounts safe and secure. With real-time debit card alerts, advanced encryption, and card controls, you can stay one step ahead of fraud with these security features.
Legence Bank supports you on and off the field. Go Wildcats!
Hey, this is Michael Anderson, owner of Anderson Boys Trash Service. We are locally owned and operated. We are reliable and affordable. Weekly trash service. I look forward to hearing from you soon. I appreciate you, and my family appreciate the business.
Now serving residential and commercial properties. with roll-off dumpster rentals available. Call 618-925-1215 or find us on Facebook at Anderson Boys Trash Service.
Provide both surgical and non-surgical management for musculoskeletal conditions. In fact, about 1 out of 10 patients I see in the clinic actually come to surgery. The other 9 out of 10 we can treat and manage non-surgically. I don't require referrals. Patients can come to see me straight away. My philosophy, again, is optimize non-surgical treatment before I perform surgery. Once I do surgery, unfortunately, I'm a perfectionist. My wife gives me a hassle. If I'm in the room and this picture on the wall is crooked, I will fix it, even in your house. I think part of that is the masonry background, because everything's got to be, again, plumb level and as close to perfect as you can achieve. You can shoot for perfection, accept excellence. That's my rule.
We're back here live from Wildcat Stadium on the campus of Marion High School for this Week 7 showdown between Marion and Collinsville. It's also homecoming here tonight. We're just about 21 minutes away from kickoff. Alongside Gage Johnson, I'm Riley Swinford. Kickoff is fast approaching. It's now time to name our Legence Bank players to bank on.
It's Week 7 of the high school football season, and we've had 6 Hub Recreation Center players of the game so far this season, so those 6 are my players to bank on tonight. In Week 1, our player of the game was Sam Atkins in the 1-point loss at Carterville. So far this season, he has 29 catches for 495 yards, an average of 17.1 per catch, with a long of 48 yards and 9 touchdowns. He had 7 catches in both wins over Granite City and Althoff, and he also handles the kicking for Marion and has 39 kickoffs for 1,906 yards, with an average of 48.9 and a long of 60. He's also 23 of 24 on extra points this season, and he also lines up on defense. This guy rarely takes a play off. However, we were told that he suffered a pretty serious injury recently, and tonight he will only be able to kick. He will not be able to play wide receiver or defense.
Then in Week 2, our Hub Recreation Center player of the game in the big win over Granite City was Blake Winters.
He had 38 carries for 182 yards with an average of 4.8 yards and a long of 49, that big run at Belleville-Althoff. He has 4 rushing touchdowns, and he also has 19 catches for 201 yards and a long of 50 yards and 2 scores receiving-wise. Defensively, he has 35 total tackles, 22 solo and 13 assisted. He also has 2 picks, 1 against Granite City and 1 against Althoff, while also forcing a fumble.
Week 3, we went with Callahan Roper and Junius Thomas for co-players of the game in the big win over Mount Vernon.
Callahan Roper has cooled off a bit by his standards the last few weeks against Cahokia and Centralia, but he's still having an outstanding senior year. He's 108 for 181 for 1,688 passing yards with a .597% completion rate for an average of 15.6 yards. He has 23 touchdowns, 8 picks, and a long of 67. His QB rating is 111.8. Junius has been outstanding with 32 catches for 628 yards, 19.6 per catch, and 104.7 per game with a long of 67. He has 8 touchdowns and is up to 15 for his career. Rushing-wise, he has 3 carries this year for 19 yards with an average of 6.3 per touch and a long of 17.
Week 4, we were at Belleville-Althoff, and that's when Marcus Hazel stole the show, Gage, in a big blowout win over the Crusaders.
He's Marion's best option to run the football when they need it to balance out that passing attack we've talked so much about this season. He's averaging just over 57 yards per game. He has 45 carries for 344 yards for 7.6 yards per carry. His long was 82 yards at Althoff, which led to the player of the game honors. He has 6 touchdowns on the season, and I'd like to see Marion use him a little bit more often.
Then in the Week 5 home loss to Cahokia, our choice for the Hub player of the game was Alex Henry.
He's the anchor of that Marion defense lining up on the D-line. He's one of Marion's all-time leaders in tackles, sacks, and tackles for a loss. He's averaging 6.3 tackles per game, has 3 sacks, a fumble recovery, 14 solo tackles, 24 assisted, and 38 total, along with 7 tackles for a loss. He's also forced a fumble and recovered one so far this year. He lines up at tight end, wide receiver is another option for Roper on offense as well, a new part of his game he's added this season. He has 7 catches for 108 yards and a touchdown in Week 1 to go along with his defense.
And then last week, you guys chose the always steady Logan Hoffman.
Yeah, he doesn't get as much fanfare and recognition as Junius Thomas and Sam Atkins, but he's always making plays at the right time and the right place to help this Marion offense. He's going to be even more important if Atkins has to miss much time. He kind of slots into that second option behind Thomas along with Max Wade. He has 16 receptions for 252 yards, an average of 15.8 per catch, a long of 67, and an average of 42 yards per game and 3 touchdowns on the season.
So with 3 weeks left in the season, Gage, who else could bring home those honors?
Well, we try not to repeat winners, but those guys we just listed are always options. Callahan Roper, Blake Winters, Marcus Hazel, Alex Henry, Junius Thomas, Logan Hoffman. They are always candidates to have a big game, and you wish Sam Atkins wasn't hurt so he could contribute more. If Marion is going to win out, those guys have to step up, especially with Atkins out. But look for some other guys we haven't named yet this year. Hudson Wade, Malachi Cooper, Evan Francis, Max Wade, Caden Jacobs, Aiden Broomfield, Andre Jones, Weston Rudd, Jaden Twitty, Quinterius Townsend, Patton Steinsel, Marley Benavi, or maybe even some of those big O-linemen to get recognition down the stretch.
We'll dive into tonight's opponent, the Collinsville K-Hawks, with much more of our Binkley-Ross Funeral Home pregame show right after this quick word from our sponsors here live on Wildcat Game Day.
At The Hub, we're not just a fitness center. We're a community powered by people who care. Our dedicated staff will guide you every step of the way on our world-class fitness floor. Dive into fun in our aquatics center. And with our fitness and aquatics classes, there's something for everyone. Join us for family events that bring our community closer. We're people-powered, and we are here for you, creating a fitness experience that feels like family. Join us today at The Hub, where health and happiness meet.
Welcome to Wit Wisdom, located at 202 North Market in downtown Marion, Illinois. We're open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 5. Stop in and check out our spirit wear, custom tees, embroidery services, and more, all in a historical boutique setting. Check us out anytime online at www.witandwisdomstore.com.
Hi, I'm Tyler Young with the Print Shop here in Marion. We're on the square. We just got done doing some perforated vinyl here at Swinford Publications. So this is the vinyl that you can see out, but people can't see in, and it gives a nice little look and feel to a number of different kinds of businesses. So come see us at the Print Shop. We're at 1112 North Carbon, next to AutoZone behind Hardee's.
Since 1999, Clark Natural Stone is a family-owned business that strives to not only offer you the best selection of rock and mulch in the country, but also provide you with the best service. Clark Natural Stone Slinger Truck is a great option when you need rock, sand, or gravel placed in an area not easily accessible to a conventional dump bed. To schedule your delivery or to ask any questions, call 618-997-3889 or visit our website, clarknaturalstone.com.
Hi, I'm Joni, Director at Binkley-Ross Funeral Homes. When you're faced with loss, it's comforting to know that someone who understands your pain is here to help. That's why I brought Blue and Mitchell Hughes Funeral Homes back under local ownership alongside Binkley-Ross Funeral Home. We've been serving Marion and Williamson County families with compassion and care for years, and we know how important it is to feel supported in your time of need. If you have questions or concerns about your previous arrangements, we're here to support you with understanding and kindness. You can always rely on us for honesty, respect, and care you deserve. Marion is not only my home, Marion is my heart.
Welcome back to Wildcat Stadium on the campus of Marion High School, where it's homecoming here tonight. You see the marching Wildcat band, dance team, color guard, and cheerleaders getting ready with their pregame show down on the field up here in the booth. I'm Riley Swinford. I'll have the play-by-play tonight. Gage Johnson is here. He'll have the color commentary. Ross Swinford to my right on the controls. Abby Collum is here. Aaron Price will be down on the field tonight doing our sideline reporting. As our Binkley-Ross Funeral Home pregame show continues here live on Wildcat Game Day, it's now time to dive into tonight's opponent, the host, the guest, I should say, for homecoming here tonight, the K-Hawks from Collinsville.
Yeah, the K-Hawks are in their last season as provisional members of the South 7 Conference, meaning they don't factor into the conference standings, but have an arrangement to play all the members of the league to help with scheduling. They entered into that arrangement with Granite City after Belleville Althoff left a few seasons back to help fill the void, but this will be the last year of the deal, as Collinsville, which had been operating as independent for football, will be going back to the Southwestern Conference as part of the revamped league with 2 divisions. They will be on the side with Alton, Mascoutah, Granite City, and Triad. The other side will include O'Fallon, East St. Louis, Edwardsville, Belleville East, and Belleville West. Each team will play the other 4 teams in their division, and each team will play 2 games against teams in the other division. Individual schools will determine their opponents for 3 games, so that's 4 division games, 2 interdivisional games, and 3 non-conference games.
And as you guys mentioned last week, that leaves the South 7 back looking for games with longtime members Centralia heading out the door, and Highland coming in next season. The South 7 will only have 7 in its name, as they will officially only have 5 members, Marion, Carbondale, Mount Vernon, Cahokia, and Highland making up the field next year.
Having an odd number of conference teams in football creates significant scheduling headaches, as midseason non-conference opponents are difficult to find. Schools in the SIRR and South 7 know this firsthand, having dealt with it the past few seasons. The demise of the Mississippi Valley appeared to fix this problem starting in 26 and 27 with the addition of Salem to the SIRR Ohio and Highland to the South 7. But with Centralia choosing to leave and Collinsville and Granite City both moving on, the South 7 will remain in football scheduling purgatory with 5 teams.
There you see the colors being presented by the Junior ROTC National Guard. We're going to send it down to the field for the playing of the national anthem by the marching Wildcat Band under the direction of Mr. Joel Kirby.
And now for the playing of our national anthem under the direction of Mr. Joel Kirby.
That was the marching Wildcat Band with the national anthem here on homecoming before the Marion Wildcats play host to the Collinsville Jayhawks as our Binkley-Ross Funeral Home pregame show continues. As we were talking about before we took a break for the anthem, with all that realignment that we discussed, this will likely be Marion and Collinsville last meeting on the gridiron for the foreseeable future. Gage, we have seen very mixed results in this limited series over the last 3 years since these teams started playing.
Yeah, in 2023, Collinsville took a massive 57-0 win at Marion on homecoming. And then in 2024, Collinsville also won 48-38 at Collinsville. Now, looking on to tonight, you know that Marion has this one circled on their schedule, looking for some get back.
Absolutely. Collinsville's results so far this season, on paper at least, would lead us to think this should be a good game. Looking at the matchups that these two teams have had in common, they lost to Centralia by 29-8. They beat Mount Vernon only by 5, while Marion, of course, blew them out. They blew out Granite City, much like everyone has, 50-3. And then last week, Collinsville lost to Althoff, a team that we saw Marion take care of 3 weeks ago, Gage. So at least on paper, this is a game that should be favorable for the Wildcats.
Absolutely. And here's some more info on the Jayhawks. They have an enrollment of 1,901 compared to the 1,134 for Marion. They're in Class 6A. They're the K-Hawks. They wear purple and white. They're a public co-ed. They're in St. Clair County. They are coached by Colton Rhodes. Their athletic director is Clayton Smith, and they are 121 miles from here for a 1 hour, 46-minute drive.
Collinsville, of course, is traditionally known for their basketball. They're a powerhouse in the Metro East for basketball. We've seen them on the hardwood as well over the years, but in the last few years they've had very good success on the football field as well after a down season in the spring of 2021 after COVID, where they went just 1-4. They have been to the playoffs 4 straight times, going 8-2, 9-2, 6-5, and 5-5. So they are trying to keep that streak alive, and a win here tonight would keep them moving in that direction.
Yeah, and their top receiver is Loyal Patterson, who averages 68.3 yards per game, with their top rusher being Amore Harper at 44.3 yards per game. Patterson leads the way in touchdowns with 4, while leading tackles per game is Anthony Brown with 5.3. Sacks is A.J. Richards with 2. Will Swipp and DeAndre Brown both have a pick each, and quarterback Jace Wilkinson has 9 touchdown passes and 3 rushing touchdowns. As a team, they average 151 passing yards per game versus 155 rushing.
We will be back with more of our Wildcat Game Day live from homecoming here at Wildcat Stadium right after this. This has been the Binkley-Ross Funeral Home pregame show.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard gives me a lot of opportunities. I have the ability to serve close to home, wherever that may be in the volunteer state. It also provides tuition benefits, making it possible to get the education I've always wanted. And since my service is part-time, I can pursue my dream job in the career field I choose. With part-time service in the Army National Guard, I really can have it all.
Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Your dream wedding gown awaits at Blush & Ivory Bridal, the most recommended bridal boutique in Southern Illinois. At Blush & Ivory, you won't be lost in the crowd. With every private appointment, the entire boutique is yours. Just you, your loved ones, and your personal stylist. Together, you'll discover a curated selection of gowns, veils, and accessories to create the bridal look you've always imagined. And say yes to the dress that brings out the bride in you. Schedule your private appointment today at Blush & Ivory Bridal, 307 North Market Street in Marion. Call 618-882-926.
Contact Kenya Garner for an auto quote today.
I'm excited to represent Southern Illinois when playing basketball for SIU, and it's important to me to give back to this region. That's important to Banterra Bank also, and it's one of the reasons that I'm proud to be a customer. They support their communities, and with their mobile app, I can check my accounts, make payments, and more, all on my time. Plus, they offer a Saluki Visa debit card that supports SIU scholarships and athletics.
That was an easy win for me.
Banterra Bank, official partner of Saluki Athletics.
Do you feel like your business is sinking in accounting and payroll work? Are business taxes and confusing technology dragging you down? Call the experts at Kemper CPA Group. We'll answer your questions and give you the tools to keep your business afloat.
Here come the Marion Wildcats as they get ready to play Collinsville on homecoming here at Wildcat Stadium. Alongside Gage Johnston, I'm Riley Swinford. Ross Swinford on the controls. Aaron Price down on the field reporting. Abby Collum is here helping out as well. And we're just approaching about 2.5 minutes away from the kickoff. The Marion Maniacs are excited. The Wildcats have taken the field. The starters have been introduced. So the only other thing we have to do as we get close to kickoff here, Gage, is name our Watermark Auto Group keys to the game.
Number 1, snap the skid. Marion has to win 2 of its last 3 to be playoff eligible, and all 3 would guarantee a spot. So take 1 game at a time and get 1 time by snapping the 2-game losing streak from the past 2 weeks with losses to Cahokia and Centralia. Number 2, avenge the last loss to Collinsville 57-0, which was the last time they hosted the K-Hawks for homecoming in 2023. The seniors were sophomores and many played in that game. Also, this group hasn't beat Collinsville in their careers, so in this 3-year series, you'd like to win at least 1. Number 3, win on homecoming for the seniors. It's always important to win on homecoming with the big crowd, but extra big stakes here tonight, as we've mentioned. Number 4, Coach Dunning and this senior class have struggled against this middle portion of their schedule. Cahokia, Centralia, and Collinsville, winless again against that group. Let's snap that streak here tonight and change the tide. And number 5, get back on track. Marion has not looked the same the past 2 weeks, as they've been a little bit sloppy with the ball, and we'll look to correct that and spread that things out offensively while relying on that defense to pick things up again.
Those are our Watermark Auto Group keys to the game. We're just about a minute away from the kickoff. Let's look ahead to the upcoming Marion schedule the rest of the way. Marion sitting at 3-3 overall, 1-2 in the South 7. We've got Collinsville here tonight. Next week we'll be at Carbondale. We'll make the short trip over to see the Terriers. And then in the regular season finale here in a couple weeks, Matt Toon will be here on senior night. That should be October 24th. I have a typo on there. It should be October 24th here on a Friday night, 2 weeks from tonight. That has been our Binkley-Ross Funeral Home pregame show. The Wildcats and the K-Hawks are at midfield for the coin toss. Marion will wear their home blue jerseys with the gold numbers and gold pants, the blue helmets with the gold Marion emblem on the side. Many of the players wearing the white socks. We have a few in black or blue socks and a few in yellow socks. The visiting K-Hawks from Collinsville, they will wear purple helmets with the white stripe down the middle, white shirts, white pants, purple numbers and purple trim with Collinsville and script across the chest. Many of their players wearing the white socks, and a small contingent of Collinsville fans filling out the visiting bleachers on the far side. It is 66 degrees at kickoff. A nice night for football. Collinsville won the coin toss and deferred to the second half, so Marion will start with the ball, and a chance, Gage, for this Marion offense to get back on track after 2 weeks of really seeming like they were just quite not themselves.
Yeah, you could tell they were a bit rattled, had a tough matchup with the athleticism that Centralia posed, especially on those sides and those one-on-ones they like to go for in the deep pass game. So I'd like to see them mix it in a bit, get some more touches for Hazel and Winters, kind of spread that offense out and get a little bit of love for everybody tonight.
The Wildcats will go left to right as they receive the opening kick. We'll see how Collinsville plays the kickoff. Many times this season, teams have tried to avoid kicking to Junius Thomas, who has been a threat to return a kick. But a big kickoff here, Gage, could really set this nice homecoming crowd and the Marion Maniacs in that end zone into a ruckus to start this homecoming game.
Absolutely, and that's one thing I think the Wildcats really have to look for is really getting off to that good start. There's been a couple of weeks in a row where they've had good chances really early on, but haven't been able to convert, and it came back to bite them. So if they get good field position, it's really important to find some success, keep the ball on their side for a little bit on this first possession, and really take control of the tempo of this game.
Matt Reynolds will do the kicking for the K-Hawks. Junius Thomas, Max Wade, and Andre Jones are the three deep back for the Wildcat return team. Thanks to everyone who's watching. Let us know in the comments down below where you're watching from, who you're rooting for. We do have a nice crowd in person tonight at Wildcat Stadium, but if you're unable to be here tonight in person, this is the next best place to see this game as a pair of 3-3 teams fighting to keep their playoff hopes alive. square off here tonight. We are underway. The kick from Reynolds is a good one. It's over the head of Thomas and will bounce into the end zone for a touchback, and that's how this homecoming Week 7 showdown gets underway, and Callahan, Roper, and the Marion offense will start from their 20-yard line.
Yeah, and with the way that their offense has looked the last couple weeks, I'd like to, see Marion take some pressure off of Callahan, get the ground game going first, establish it, and really allow yourself to kind of balance out your offense and make it not so easy to kind of game plan or change against.
Roper will start in the shotgun like he does most of the time. He'll stand on the 15, joined by Blake Winters. 3 receivers out to the right, 1 out to the left as Marion starts with the pass. They swing it out to Junius. Thomas follows his blockers, and it's a good one. First down and then some. Still on his feet. Breaks a tackle. Still on his feet. Across the 40, and there's the big play we were hoping for to start this homecoming showdown, Gage.
Man, who else other than Junius Thomas right there? A screen pass, got some nice blocking and said, hey, go make a play for us, and he did.
We mentioned it in the pregame show. If you're just now joining us, Sam Atkins is in limited duty tonight due to an injury suffered last week, so we do not expect to see him line up at receiver, and someone else will have to step up. Little screen pass to Blake Winters. Stays on his feet. That could have been a big loss, but Blake Winters still turned that into a positive gain for about 5 or 6 yards.
Yeah, and I mean, once he caught the ball and turned, he had nobody there other than the defense. So a nice job to make some positive gain out of that. And I mean, they're now looking at halfway to a first down.
Blake was our Week 2 player of the game against Granite City, and a candidate to repeat if he can keep up that performance. Roper rolls out to his right, steps into one. He wants Henry, and it's just deflected at the last minute, knocked down by number 4, John Thomas from Collinsville. So 3 plays, 3 pass plays. And suddenly, Gage, we're looking at a 3rd down situation.
Yeah, and this is not how you want things to go. Really not taking time off the clock. There was a lot of times last week where Marion would have the ball for a minute or less, and more often than not, 30 seconds. So you want to get some more possession.
They hand it to Winters, and he's dropped for a loss well behind the line of scrimmage. He's going to be dropped for a 7 or 8 yard loss.
Man, plays like that are such a gut check. You feel like you're making some nice momentum with the big play to start the drive. You get a nice gain despite not having as much blocking. And now you're looking at a 4th and long with a tough decision looming to start the game.
They say it was a 10-yard loss. Thanks to Ted Wren, Brian Lee, and Joe Buchanan for joining us tonight. Keep those comments coming down below. It's 4th and 15, just a minute and a half into this game, so that big play from Thomas to start the game could be for naught as Marion's in a 4th and long. It looks like they'll go for it. Roper to pass with time. He had Hoffman, but instead he went to Thomas, and it goes incomplete. Turnover on downs. And after a promising start to the drive with Junius's big play, Gage, the Wildcats can't capitalize.
Yeah, and I mean, kind of been the story of how the offense has rolled. Even though that wasn't a bad look there, the pass just a bit out of Thomas's reach. But now you're putting Collinsville almost at midfield, and now you're really trusting that defense to go out there and put a halt to it and get the ball back.
Jace Wilkinson and the Collinsville offense will set up shop on the 42-yard line. Jace is an outstanding basketball player as well. Does the quarterbacking, 5'10", 157-pound senior. A minute 45 into this game, Collinsville with their first possession. They won the toss and deferred, and the decision paid off as Marion did not score. Back to pass on first down. It's complete out to the outside, and getting out of bounds after about a 4 or 5 yard pickup was number 7, Logan Odell. And Junius Thomas had to get the tackle there, so Junius having to do a lot here early in this game.
Yeah, a number of guys playing both ways again this week. Interested to see how fresh some of these guys are. I had some really busy weeks with multiple guys playing both sides in a really high-action game last week.
2nd and 5 from the 47. 9:50 to go in this opening quarter. Man goes in motion. They keep it on the ground. Not much room there for Harper. Sorry, that was Stewart. Hudson Wade in on the coverage. And now we have a third down situation for the K-Hawks. So Marion's defense trying to return the favor after Collinsville got a stop on their first defensive stand of the game. Now Marion faced with a 3rd and 3 trying to get off the field.
Yeah, and this would be a big play if they can keep them from crossing that yellow line and get the ball back on offense.
Yeah, midfield is kind of the first down marker. Wilkinson on the QB keeper does pick up the first down and then some. And a gutsy play there by the quarterback to keep it, and Malachi Cooper stopped him, but not before a first down.
Oh, I tell you what, they had me fooled. I was looking at 25 running up midfield. I thought he was long gone. So a nice play by Collinsville right there, getting the first down. Now Marion defense going to need to pick it up here in order to get the ball back.
The K-Hawks into Marion territory for the first time tonight. Under 9 minutes to go in this opening quarter. From the 37, it's Wilkinson in the shotgun. 3 receivers bunched out to the right. Claps his hands. Marion sends the blitz. Hudson Wade tracking him down, trying to get him, but he gets rid of it, and it's caught by Odell as his second catch of the night. Much like the first one is a 4 or 5 yard pickup and forced out of bounds. Junius Thomas again on the coverage. In Collinsville, a little bit of a different contrast in styles, Gage. Collinsville playing it more conservative as Marion tried to get the big play on their first drive.
Yeah, and it's not a bad idea. Like we've said before, sometimes it's all about hitting the singles before you hit the big home runs.
Absolutely.
So Collinsville taking their time, taking time of possession in their control. So defense going to need to find a way to put a halt to it so they can get the ball back.
They swing it out to the outside, follows a block for a first down, towing that sideline, trying to make a guy miss. Now dragging the pile, trying to break the plane. Did he get across?
He was awfully close. If he's not, he's on the 1.
And that was Matt Reynolds, number 15, the senior, taking it about 33 yards, needed 34 for a touchdown. And Marion's defense barely kept him out, but now they've got 4 tries to punch it in from about the 1.5 yard line.
Yeah, and I mean, that was an impressive run by him. I thought he was about to drag 3 defenders with him into the end zone. Now Marion with a tough challenge right here.
From the right hash, Collinsville trying to finish off the drive with points. Wilkinson's going to keep him himself. He stood up at the goal line. Did he break the plane? They say he did. So Collinsville takes very little time to take the ball 68 yards downfield, and they score on their opening drive, something Marion was unable to do. And now Collinsville is going to send in the kicking team for the PAT. It looks like it will be Reynolds, who just had that nice catch and run moments ago to set up the score, trying to make it a 7-0 early lead.
And this has been a pattern over the last few weeks that you hate to see Marion kind of fall in again, where they're down early, now looking to have to play behind for what seems like the 3rd or 4th week in a row.
Yeah, Marion behind again early. We'll see if they can answer back when they get the ball when we return. Collinsville out to an early 7-0 lead.
Hi, Wildcat fans. I'm Brad Poole, president of the Watermark Auto Group. I invite you to come experience the fastest, friendliest, and fairest car buying in our little corner of the world. Our friendly sales representatives will provide you in writing with our best price, trade value, monthly payments, all within minutes of your request. No pressure, no hurdles, no tricks, and no surprises. Experience the Watermark difference for yourself at Watermark Ford Hyundai or Watermark Nissan of Marion. Fast, friendly, fair. That's Watermark.
There's a replay of the Wildcats taking the field before this big homecoming showdown with Collinsville. They started with the ball, had a big promising play from Junius Thomas, but the drive stalled. Then the defense allowed Collinsville to answer right back, so they're down 7-0 as Junius Thomas tries to bring this kick back.
Oh, he's
Junius
got room
Thomas
if he gets
blockers, trying to drag a defender, but he gets out to the 50. And Gage, if the Wildcats are off to a slow start, it's not to the fault of Junius Thomas, who came to play.
No, already through the catch and then that return nearing over 50 all-purpose yards. I mean, might look to start things off with him and then try to build off of it, get some sequencing going for that Wildcat offense.
The senior on homecoming trying to win and get a revenge against these K-Hawks, a team that this senior class is not beaten. From midfield at the 50, Marion back for their second offensive possession of the game. They hand it off, and they give it to Thomas. We talked about that in our pregame as one of our Legence Bank players to watch. That's just his fourth carry of the season, Gage.
Yeah, and I think that's honestly the first directly in the backfield.
That's
a lot of times
point.
coming around on an end-around type handoff. So interesting to see them throw him back there instead of Winters like they usually would.
Yeah, we're yet to see Marcus Hazel tonight. 3-yard pickup for Thomas. Play action. Roper to pass. Over the shoulder pass to Thomas. First Southern Bank first down, and he's brought down just across the 40. And Junius Thomas trying to put the Wildcats on his back.
That was a great job by Marion of letting the play develop. It looked like they were getting close towards a sack, and Callahan was able to get him loft on that pass before he got hit and turned it into a Wildcat first down.
I like the strategy. A couple small gains to chip away and get the first down. Now we'll see what they do 1st and 10 from the 39 into Collinsville territory. Roper rolls out to his right. He's got Thomas again. Who else? There is a flag on the play. Back to maybe the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I think we might have a holding as he rolled out there.
We talked about that before we went on air tonight, Gage. Marion really likes that rolling out to his right, rolling out to his left. And Collinsville seemed to sniff that one out. Looks like the indication is that's against the Wildcats. It is holding, so they're going to back it up. And in comes Marcus Hazel for the first time tonight.
Yeah, I'd like to see him get a lot of touches tonight. Obviously, you have Winters, you have Thomas as those threats that can do things in the backfield, but Hazel doesn't play both ways like those guys do. Use his fresh legs, allow him to kind of build some things up for your offense as a different type of back, too, with a little bit more strength.
Back to midfield, so they lost those yards they had gained back to where this drive started.
Yep.
But they're moving back the other way as they went to a little bit of a long snap count and got Collinsville to jump off sides. The big Marion crowd might have had a little bit to do with that. And Marion gets 5 of those yards back.
Nice break, but it's important for Marion to not let those start to pile up on them tonight. Keeping time of possession and really not giving up a whole lot of yards on these flags are going to be really important.
1st and 15 now from the 44. Hazel stands next to Roper on the Marion M at midfield. 4 receivers set, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Roper under pressure, has to get rid of it. Throws it into the Collinsville sideline. Blake Winters, the nearest intended receiver.
Yeah, not a whole lot of time for Callahan to let the play kind of develop a little bit more. Once his first read wasn't there, kind of just had to get rid of it with pressure looming.
Yeah, we're yet to see Roper make many plays with his legs, Gage, so being such a pocket passer, when that pocket collapses, just like any quarterback, he's not going to be at his best. Steps into one now and rifles it through the hands of Max Wade, incomplete. And that one came in there hot.
Yeah, and I think like you said, that's why we see a lot of these passes where they're rolling out left or right. But the key to those is making sure you have multiple reads to kind of hit. Right there on that play, probably should have been a catch, but Hoffman's really kind of your only target in that read, kind of leaving yourself, if he's not open or doesn't make that catch, with not much else to operate with.
Now a big 3rd and 15. Marion fell into this situation on their opening drive, and the drive stalled as they went for it on 4th down. Right from midfield, standing on that Marion M.
Interesting with Henry one-on-one out on this right side over here.
Roper looking. And he's going to be dropped for a sack and a big loss as no one was open, and that's probably when you start missing another option like Sam Atkins.
Yeah, now forced. There's no way you're going for it if you're Marion. I mean, I couldn't imagine being on this side of the 50. So
no. Down 7.
Looks like you're going to have to punt again. That time you kill some time off the clock, which is more than they can say they have in the last week or two, but doesn't result in much. So now the defense is going to be asked again to find a way to make a stop.
So 2 pointless drives to start this game for the Marion offense. Roper will punt, and it's just going to go
on it.
Right to the right out of bounds. Not much of a punt there. It might have been, like Gage said, deflected. And now Marion's defense back on the field trying to keep this a one-score game.
And you can kind of just feel the air taken out of the crowd right now. So the Marion defense really needs a big play, a big hit, something to kind of spark things up a little bit, get that sideline going a little bit too.
The last time this Marion crowd saw Collinsville for a homecoming game, it was 57-0, and you hate to speak it, but a lot of these fans are probably starting to think, here we go again, and Collinsville has a chance to take a 2-possession lead as they restart the offense on the 38-yard line. Wilkinson dumps it off. Little screen pass, nicely wrapped up by Henry. It was a screen pass to Christian Bargney.
A good job to snuff that out. Tried to fake out the Wildcats with what looked to be like a screen pass on that left side by sending the back in motion. Right side, excuse me. And they go to the left here, and Henry's right there to wrap him up.
2 yards on first down for the K-Hawks, sets up 2nd and 8.
Gain of 2 on the play, 2nd down and 8.
Collinsville working from the near hash. Tight formation. Wilkinson standing on the 35. With time. Now Henry hits him as he throws, and then Blake Winters delivers a blow as it was caught by Bargney. Hudson Wade and Blake Winters were right there on top of Bargney as he made the catch, but he did pick up a first down right to the middle of the field, right on the point of that Marion M.
Yeah, and an impressive throw by Wilkinson to put that right on the dot with a big hit coming from Henry too. So he's been impressive for Collinsville so far tonight, but that line gave him a lot of time to get that pass off.
4:10 to go in this opening quarter. They keep it on the ground. Not much room in the middle there. Third number 24, Damon Dyer.
Good job right there by the Wildcats. Now it's a matter of stringing those together, right? They're getting a couple of these early on in the series, but then not able to complete it. So if they can get another big one right here, I think you feel pretty good about how you're going on this defensive time around.
Hudson Wade on that last tackle for the Wildcats. 1 yard pickup sets up 2nd and 9. Still from midfield. Wilkinson, low snap. Under pressure, has to roll out. Alex Henry in pursuit, gets rid of it. Max Wade forces Loyal Patterson, their top receiver, out of bounds, just shy of the first down marker.
And that right there looks like a little bit of a case of quarterback watching. He rolled out to his right. Didn't really have much to do, but then we're playing behind the receiver, and he's able to make the catch for some gain.
People watching from multiple states. We see Tennessee and Texas in the comments. Keep the comments coming. Where are you watching from? 3rd and 2. And still moving the pile after picking up a first down. Damon Dyer. Jaden Twitty finally wrapped him up. But Collinsville with another first down, and Collinsville's doing what Marion was unable to do on offense, Gage, and that's pick up first downs.
Yeah, and they're doing it with a balance of plays. It's not just strictly one thing. They're passing the ball a few here, rushing this next series once they get the first down, really mixing it around to multiple people.
Here's a quarterback keeper now sticking with the variety as Wilkinson thought he was still on his feet, but they call it dead after about 4 yards right up the middle on the QB keeper.
Yeah, you can tell right away Marion's just going to need to make some adjustments as they're having trouble kind of figuring out what it is that the K-Hawks are going to do as they're really marching down the field and taking a significant amount of time off the clock right now.
2nd and 5 from the 30. Approaching the 2-minute mark in this opening quarter. Collinsville trying to stretch it to a 2-possession lead. And Marion's defense stops them for a loss there. As that was Amari Harper that time on the carry. Hudson Wade got back there and dropped him behind the original line of scrimmage.
Man, and he was there right away, busted through the line immediately, almost missed the tackle, but got the shoestrings. And now Marion looking at a good spot here if they can get him to 4th down.
Loss of 3 makes it 3rd and 8 from the 33. Big 3rd down coming here. Wilkinson drops back, stands on the 40, steps into one, and a low pass And that low pass was made possible by Alex Henry's pressure, and he's really starting to apply pressure back there.
Yeah, he's making a difference, making Wilkinson have to rush his decisions a little bit more, making a pass that was probably a little bit easier, not as so.
4th and 8 and a decision for the K-Hawks. They're going to keep the offense on the field. Big play coming up here. 4th and 8 from the 33. Wilkinson trying to get Marion to jump. Marion does not. 4th down, D lineman for the Cats. 4 linebackers lined across the middle. Vance coming alive here on homecoming, and a big 4th down stop as the pass goes incomplete. Marion's defense finally gets off the field, Gage, as it took a few tries after giving up a few first downs, but they get the stop that they needed.
Yeah, the throw just behind the receiver there. Good job by putting some pressure on the quarterback once again, as they weren't able to bring down that bullet. But now Marion looking a little bit more fired up on that sideline. Now you got to take that momentum and try to build something offensively.
We'll see if the first 2 drives will result in more of the same, or if Marion has figured it out here on their 3rd drive. Callahan, Roper, and company back on the field. They've had a few glimpses, a few big plays, but unable to put a full drive together as they set up on their own 33. Max Wade goes in motion. They give to Winters, who tries to get up the middle. Maybe 2 or 3 yards there on 1st down. And it will be 2nd and about 7 here as we approach the end of this first quarter.
And not a huge flashy play right there, but if you can start to string together some of those, allow the passing game to have some variety there, it'll really make things different for the Wildcat offense. So I don't hate that play right there.
Our friend Michael Anderson from Anderson Boys Trash Service tuned in watching tonight, along with Jennifer, who says, "Go Wildcats." Winters trying to stiff arm and now move a pile, and he's drugged back near the 40. We'll see where they stop his forward progress. And we'll have a 3rd and short here as they have gone to the ground on both 1st and 2nd down.
And a big play here is Marion would really like to have the ball with a new fresh set of downs going into the next quarter.
We'll see if they try to get one more play off. 18 seconds on the game clock running here in the first quarter. Game clock and play clock pretty well synced. They give it back to Winters, and he finishes off the 1st down drive that he put together himself. 3 carries for about 10 yards to pick up the first Southern Bank 1st down by Blake Winters. They stopped the clock momentarily to move the chains, but that might have been the last play of the first quarter.
1st down, Wildcat.
And it was. So after 1 quarter of play, it's Collinsville 7, Marion nothing. We'll flip ends and be back for the start of the 2nd quarter as Marion tries to tie it up here on homecoming.
Black Diamond Harley-Davidson presents Why I Ride.
Hi, I'm Les Ingram, and this is Why I Ride. I taught special education for 28 years. I haven't drank in 34 years. I needed something to relieve the stress, and the bike does it wonderfully. I've been riding 34 years. I currently have, through the Harley Owners Group, Ride 365, I have 649,607 miles. As a matter of fact, I don't want to go anywhere unless I'm traveling on the Harley.
Welcome you back to Coaches at Crown Brew Getting Coffee.
So after Blake Winters picked up that first Southern Bank 1st down to end the first quarter, we've got a new set of downs and a new quarter as Marion starts with a big deep ball on the 1st down and the first play of the 2nd quarter, and it just falls incomplete, intended for Max Wade as he made every attempt he could to bring that ball down, and it was just broken up.
Yeah, it was a good look. Just didn't have enough on it. He had to try to moss the defender in midfield and just wasn't able to bring it down. But he had him beat, so not a bad look.
Marion had 3 straight runs for a first down, and then they went back to the deep ball. You like to see them. They had some success on the ground, not get too pass happy again.
Hazel back out on the field. He came running on the field as time expired in that first. Look to see him get some touches here too.
2nd and 10. Another pass. They swing it out to Thomas. He's had some big plays in this game, and here's another. He's off to the races. At the 20, at the 15, the 10, and Junius Thomas with the homecoming touchdown. And Junius Thomas pretty well putting Marion on his back here in the opening quarter plus on homecoming.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, if you're the Marion offense, you might just have to keep going to that well until he runs dry.
Absolutely, as Marion now will send the special teams unit out onto the field to try and tie this game. After the defense got a stop, the offense capitalizes. And Marion within 1, 7-6, PAT pending. Here is Sam Atkins, unable to line up as a receiver due to an injury suffered last week. Trying to contribute here with his leg, a chance to tie it on the PAT. The hold from Roper, the kick is more than strong enough and accurate through the uprights, and we're all tied at 7 on homecoming, and this big crowd is back alive after a slow start. Marion has tied it courtesy of the Anderson Boys Trash Service point after. Call the Anderson Boys Trash Service for all your waste removal needs. We'll be back for the ensuing kickoff right after this here live on the Marion Stars Wildcat Game Day.
The teachers are really good, they're understanding.
All of our faculty here teach from experience.
I love it. It's so hands-on. They want to see us succeed.
There's so many options, so many things they can choose from.
I wasn't just another statistic out there.
My advisors and my professors have been very helpful.
I've felt completely at home from the first day.
Everyone has been so welcoming and helpful and encouraging. It's made it really easy. So I would for sure recommend John A.
Atkins will kick it away. We're all tied at 7 in a brand new ball game after Marion. And like Gage said, the energy was kind of sucked out of this stadium after a slow start. We've got new life as Atkins kicks it well through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now let's see if the defense can hold him again.
Yeah, it was just what they needed on that last drive. Now I got the crowd back into it. They're all fired up. If the defense can find a way to get another stop here and put the ball back in Roper and company's hands, they can find themselves being able to climb out of this hole that they found themselves in here early.
Tyler Winters rooting on Blake Winters tonight, watching here on our Wildcat Game Day stream. Continue to keep the comments going. We're accepting Player of the Game nominations as well. We just had a candidate for our Play of the Game, and that was Junius Thomas's big touchdown to make this a tied game. Collinsville trying to answer back. They sling a deep ball of their own. Max Wade unable to break it up, and Collinsville one play later answers right back. And it's Loyal Patterson. We talked about him in the pregame as their #1 receiver. And it took all of one play for Collinsville to go 80 yards to regain the lead.
Yeah, and a brutal punch back right there. He got the inside on Max Wade and then was never able to recover. Tough spot when he's got so much speed on him, and now Marion's going to have to answer. And just like that, you kind of feel that energy that you had die down once again.
In our pregame show, we talked about Loyal Patterson came in averaging 68.3 yards per game. That one catch there, he just went over his average. That was an 80-yard house call to re-give Collinsville the lead, and now the PAT pending as Reynolds is on, kicking into the Hex Center, low kick. And Ryan Godiski will like that one as it stays off the roof as the Maniacs catch it. They'll be able to reuse that ball. But he does not like the result as Collinsville has retaken the lead, 14-7. Marion will have to answer back when we return. This is the Marion Stars Wildcat Game Day.
Hey y'all, it's me, Willie the Wildcat. I'm here to tell you about the official Wildcat Game Day shirts brought to you by Swinford Media Group. Whether you're cheering under the Friday night lights or packing the gym for basketball season, these shirts are the perfect way to show your Wildcat pride. Order yours now at swinfordmediagroup.com.
For Collinsville, number 15.
We were tied for all of 12 seconds. Gage was telling me as we were on break there, Marion was feeling good after Junius Thomas, and then the point after from Sam Adkins. But Loyal Patterson and Jace Wilkinson took all of 12 seconds to answer back, and now Marion will try to answer with a quick response of their own, and they definitely have the big play potential. And Junie Thomas showed us moments ago what his big play potential is, as our Aaron Price got this look of the replay down on the sideline as Junius Thomas, an early candidate for our Hub Recreation Center Player of the Game. He's already won it once this season, but so far tonight, the senior is trying to put Marion on his back here on homecoming. Another senior, Blake Winters, had some good runs on that last drive. Callahan Roper trying to keep Marion and this offense operating at quarterback as he's back on the field. A wild throw there. He might have been hit, and it's picked off. Loyal Patterson now picks it off, and he's going to have a return. He's doing it all. He's their version of Junius Thomas. There is a flag on the return. And Loyal Patterson still on his feet. We're not sure how much this one's going to stand. And a heartbreaking blow there. It looked like that ball was a little funny coming out of the hand of Roper. He might have been hit as he threw it, Gage. But Loyal Patterson, after the quick response with the long 80-yard score, turns around and picks off a Roper pass.
Yeah, I got to think there's a bit of confusion there, too. Looked like it was going to be like a fake screen out to Hoffman there, but when the ball was in the air, Hoffman hadn't even turned his head yet, and the ball was well over him. So just an errant throw. It's one we've seen that happen a couple times this year for the Wildcats, so might need to take a look at how their timing is for that or how they're calling it, because we've had a few where they try to air it out down that sideline and no one's there but the defense to catch it.
Ball spotted at the Collinsville 39-yard line. 1st and 10 K-Hawks.
So there was a penalty on the return, but the interception stands. And Collinsville's offense lines up on the 39 with a chance to add to its lead, and Marion's got to know where Loyal Patterson's at.
Yeah, this is going to be a big opportunity for Marion to answer the call defensively, and they're going to need it to swing some momentum their way.
They hand it off. 4, maybe 5 yards there for Amari Harper. Hudson Wade in on the tackle, candidate for our Hub Recreation Center Player of the Game. 6-yard pickup sets up 2nd and 4. At the 45-yard line. Looks like Patterson's getting a well-deserved blow as he's gassed after the 80-yard touchdown and then the pick. But Collinsville definitely has other playmakers. Wilkinson stands in the shotgun on the 40. Man goes in motion, that's Reynolds. Now he rolls out to his left. Marion sends the pressure. Alex Henry hits him as he threw. And Alex Henry once again caused that bad pass as Wilkinson is a little undersized back there at 5'10" is what he's listed at. Might be more like 5'8" or 5'9". And when Alex Henry comes flying into his grill, he just throws it away.
Yeah, great job of making him have to try to make a quick decision. Didn't really have time to kind of scan the field, and now the defense, again, proving that they can kind of pick up their end of the slack if they can get another big stop right here.
3rd and 4, a big play coming up with 10:15 to go before the half. 4th down, D lineman for the Cats. We'll see how Collinsville plays this, a 3rd and 4 situation. It's a pass. No, it's a quarterback draw. Caught everyone off guard, including myself, and he picks up the 1st down right to midfield. There is an injured K-Hawk on the play.
Alex Henry with the tackle.
Referee signals 1st down.
Injury timeout.
But slow to get up was number 57. That is Caleb Patton. He is now up and on his own feet, but he's going to have to come off the field after Wilkinson on the draw play, Gage, and the variety of play calls and the variety of looks that Collinsville's thrown at Marion right now is giving the Wildcat defense some trouble.
Yeah, had the receivers set up to where it looks like they were going to run some routes out wide. He dropped back like he was settling into the pocket, waited just long enough, and had an open seam up the middle and took advantage of it.
1st and 10 now from midfield. A new set of downs for the K-Hawks. 3 receivers out to the left, 2 out to the right, 5 receivers set for the K-Hawks. Wilkinson alone in the shotgun. Marion sends the pressure. Wilkinson scrambling, slings it, sliding catch is made. Logan Odell, who's had a few nice catches in this game, sliding near the 40. We'll see where they spot this. He needs the 40 for the 1st down. If he got the 40, it's a 1st down. They spot it at the 39, so 2nd and 1.
Yeah, and impressive from Wilkinson. Did a nice job with multiple Wildcats flying at him. Got out of the pocket and was able to make a nice throw only to where Odell could make the grab.
Working from the right hash, Wilkinson with 3 receivers out to the left. Instead, they hand it off now. Nice tackle there from Max Wade. Tripping up the ball handler as they gave it to Damon Dyer.
And that's, I think, the 3rd back now that we've kind of seen. They're mixing in who they're running the ball with for the K-Hawks, with Dyer, Stewart on that last one, and then Harper to start the drive.
Another 1st down. 1st and 10 now to the 40, working into Marion territory. Staying with the same formation. Wilkinson to pass. Looking. Now he's going to keep it. Nice tackle there. Number 23 for Marion, Jaden Twitty, an active member of that Marion defense, as he has been Marion's statistical tackle leader multiple times the last couple of weeks, as he is always around the football.
Yeah, nice tackle in a one-on-one situation. It was an interesting scheme. I think it was kind of designed for that to be the fallback option with nobody out as a receiver on that side, 3 out on the left. So once he didn't have that back on his right, he was taking off. So a nice job by Twitty to make the tackle.
Keep an eye on Patterson on the bottom of your screen, number 85. He had that big 80-yard touchdown and then the pick.
All alone with Wade again.
They keep it on the ground. Dyer plows his way forward, tackled by Twitty. Near the 1st down marker again, Junie Thomason on the coverage. 8 minutes to go before the John A. Logan College halftime show.
Gain of 6 on the play.
3rd and 4 now, another big 3rd down. Let's see if Marion's defense can get off the field. This might be 4-down territory. 4 receivers set for the K-Hawks. Wilkinson with Dyer and the shotgun. Claps his hands. Immediately fires it to Patterson out to the right. Max Wade immediately wrapping him up, trying to keep him short of the 1st down. Coach Dunning thinks he's short of the 1st down, and of course he does. But we'll see what the referees think. And they say 4th down, so he was short. Nice tackle there by Max Wade.
And I think they'd have to be running the ball here, so wouldn't be surprised if Marion sent the house. Obviously, you have the threat in Patterson out on that left side for a possible screen, but with that 1 yard and the way that Wilkinson and their backs have moved, I wouldn't be shocked if they take off for it.
4th and 1 from the 31. Wilkinson gives to Dyer and gets a haul for the 1st down and then some. Broomfield finally brought him down. Needed 1, got about 9.
With the tackle for the Wildcats.
And Collinsville once again gets a 3rd or 4th down conversion on this drive, and they are threatening to make it a 2-possession game. Working quickly, low snap. Wilkinson nowhere to go after the bad snap. Marion caught a break there. Malachi Cooper and Hudson Wade immediately wrapping him up on the busted play.
Yeah, Cooper fired up after that play too. You need some of that to kind of spread throughout the Wildcats. Need some contagious energy right now to try to halt this drive, as the Collinsville is just playing really disciplined football right now.
Loss of 2 makes it 2nd and 12. From the 35. Sorry, the 25. Scoreboard's wrong here at the stadium. Wilkinson with time, rolls out to his right. He's going to tuck it in across the 20 and forced out of bounds. Caden Jacobs with a big tackle there. And he's a dual threat quarterback, Gage. We haven't seen too many of those this year. And when you have a dual threat quarterback, you almost have to defend him as 2 different players, first as a passer, secondly as a runner.
Yeah, because, I mean, he really didn't wait much time there to see if somebody was going to eventually get open. He took a look or two, and then he decided he was going to take it himself, and it's led to a lot of rushing yards for him so far tonight.
3rd and 1 now from the 14. 5:35 to go in this opening quarter. Collinsville's converted multiple 3rd and 4th downs on this drive. Here's another one. Another bad snap, and it could have been bad, but they hand it to Stewart, and he picks up another 1st down, and they keep getting those big holes for their running backs.
Yeah, and I mean, they're just playing really good tempoed football right now. They've had the ball for what feels about, I think it's about 6 minutes now. Already we're in control of time of possession, but now they've probably doubled that total opposed to Marion. So Collinsville really just taking their time, making the right plays when they need to.
1st and goal now from the 8. Ford tries to punch it in. 3 receivers to the right, 1 out to the left. They immediately give it to Patterson on the screen pass. And Max Wade and Hudson Wade, the 2 Wades, no relation, were there to wrap him up.
And good job to have multiple guys there ready for Patterson. As electric as he's been, I don't think you want to one-on-one him. So a nice job to wrap him up. Maybe see Marion look to pick up some steam defensively and keep him out of the end zone right here. That'd be huge.
Loss of 1 makes it 2nd and 9. 4:15 to go in this opening quarter. Opening half, I should say. Man goes in motion. That's Reynolds. Wilkinson. He's going to try to keep it himself. Right across the middle and still on his feet as he breaks the plane for the 9-yard quarterback keeper.
Touchdown, Collinsville.
And Collinsville with a well-orchestrated drive. Started after the penalty on the pick at their own 35, and they take it 65 yards to the house. As Gage said, playing with pace, playing with tempo, and finishing it off with points.
Yeah, just over a 7-minute drive there, Riley. Those are the type of gut punches that really take the wind out of you. When they take that much time off the clock and it results in a score, really stings. And now the Wildcats have a big hole to try to dig themselves out of.
That kick was nearly blocked as Andre Jones got back there in a hurry, but it's good, and it's a 2-possession lead. Marion will get the ball back with under 4 minutes to go before the half. One thing to note, Collinsville will have the ball to start the second half, so Marion needs an answer quick. We'll see if they have it when we come back here live from Wildcat Stadium.
No matter the length of your journey, come discover the savings during the Columbus Day sale at Anderson's Family of Stores, where we've got savings of up to 25% off store-wide on thousands of items in stock and ready for immediate delivery, or receive up to 5 years no interest. And we provide same-day delivery on most mattresses, up to 25% off store-wide or 5 years interest-free financing at our Columbus Day sale, only at Anderson's Family of Stores.
Anderson's Furniture and Mattress.
Junius Thomas is back to receive, but they'll kick away from him as that is dropped by Max Wade. Nearly disastrous as Collinsville could have recovered it, but I think Marion avoided a disaster there, Gage, as you almost had the world's longest onside kick.
Yeah, you can just tell with the way the sidelines kind of behaving and how they're kind of operating. Marion's frazzled a bit right now. They need to find a way to regain their composure and finish this half strong with the K-Hawks having the ball coming out.
Marion will be backed up on their own 17 with 3:47 to go. Let's see if Callahan Roper can shake off that last pick and orchestrate a scoring drive that the Wildcats desperately need here on homecoming.
First time nobody in the backfield with Roper tonight.
They sling it out to Winters, who instead of lining up in that backfield goes out and catches a pass, and Blake Winters doing a little bit of everything, much to our commenters down below who are big Blake Winters supporters.
And nice job of making a good gain out of it. Was in a tough spot when he caught it with Logan Hoffman trying to block a 3-on-1 essentially.
Second down. Or did he pick up the first down? We're having all sorts of issues. So he did pick up a First Southern Bank first down. The chain crew was all disoriented after that big play. They finally get it sorted out, and it's 1st and 10 now from the 27. Exactly 10 yards on that first down. Here's another one to Blake Winters. Here's another First Southern Bank first down, and then some. Across the 40, now across the 30, reverses field, still on his feet. Stiff arming and getting to the 20. And boy, did Marion need that one, Gage.
Yeah, 27 to the 20. A nice job by Winters of just going and making a play. Once Roper had rolled out and hit him, he was alone on that side. Henry and I think it was Hoffman out on that side doing just enough to give him some room to run.
Into Collinsville territory now from the 21. Roper fires it. Logan Hoffman, our hub player of the game last week, makes a catch and still on his feet as they blow it dead. And Marion now has some tempo and some momentum, Gage.
Yeah, you're seeing them find that rhythm, and it's important. Yes, you want to keep the ball and kill time off the clock, but you also want to find your own pace amongst that and not feel like you're kind of dragging downfield throughout the series.
8 yards for Hoffman makes it 2nd and 2. Roper calling out instructions. He's got Henry and Wade out to the right. Hoffman alone to the left. Flanked in the backfield by Hazel and Thomas. They give it to Hazel, and he's across the middle for a First Southern Bank first down. Marcus Hazel with his first significant contribution here tonight. And Marion knocking on the door. 1st and goal from the 7. A quick response here from the Wildcats. Now Collinsville jumps off sides, and they'll get 5 free yards.
Love it. And looking at the way that the Wildcats receivers are kind of lining up right here, we talked pregame about how Henry's added being a receiver or a tight end of sorts to his game.
Right.
He's matched up with number 4 for Collinsville right there. And looking at the roster, that's 5'10", 174 to Henry's, where is it at? 6'2", 240. So maybe throw the ball to that guy.
Instead, they give to Hazel, trying to push the pile. He might have picked up about 1 yard. Marion spreading the wealth. We've seen Winters. We've seen Thomas. We've seen Hoffman on this drive. Now Hazel.
No gain on the play.
They say no gain. 2nd and goal. Under 2 minutes to go in this first half.
Now they got Henry all alone out wide. Winters and Thomas in the backfield with Roper.
Working on the left hash. Wade goes in motion. They give it to Winters, trying to finish off this drive. He started plowing forward, and he's forced out of bounds. Just ran out of room over here on this near side. And a 3rd and short now as Marion's trying to punch it in.
Good job by Winters right there, turning that play into something. Definitely looked like it was going to be a tackle for a loss. Marion now needing to regroup on that sideline with a timeout.
We'll take a timeout as well. Marion trying to get points before the half when we come back.
At Legence Bank, we make it easy to achieve your financial goals. Working with small businesses, farmers, and individuals, we strive to be your partner in convenient, local, and personalized banking solutions. From investing in your priorities to helping our community grow, we're committed to making a difference at Legence Bank.
I always know I can count on the people at Legence to answer my questions and connect me to the services I need.
We have you covered with a range of fraud prevention tools to keep your accounts safe and secure. With real-time debit card alerts, advanced encryption, and card controls, you can stay one step ahead of fraud with these security features.
Legence Bank supports you on and off the field. Go Wildcats!
Third and goal. Broomfield lines up at quarterback for this short yardage situation. He's going to keep it himself, and he goes untouched, falling forward, and they push the right button as he falls in to that gold A in Marion and makes it a one-possession game again. Right play call out of the timeout right there.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Riley, you can tell the teams that have done their homework and who hasn't, because there's a 99.9% chance of what's going to happen when Broomfield takes that snap right there.
Absolutely. No, that's exactly right. Now, you would think you're going to have the PAT from Atkins. If you're just now joining us, Atkins injured last week at Centralia, limited to just kicking. And if you can only do one thing, you got to do it well, right? And we'll see if he can make it a perfect 2 for 2 tonight, trying to cap off that scoring drive. And now they might go for 2.
I tell you what, Callahan's done a really good job, Riley, of getting them to jump tonight. His snap count, however he's doing it, it's working.
Marion's going to go ahead and use another timeout, I think. Might as well. You can't take them with you. So they're going to talk it over after Collinsville jumped off sides, and now it's half the distance to the goal. And they'll have a chance from the 1 to get a 2-point conversion right after this.
Hey, this is Michael Anderson, owner of Anderson Boys Trash Service. We are locally owned and operated. We are reliable and affordable. Weekly trash service. I look forward to hearing from you soon. I appreciate you, and my family appreciate the business.
Now serving residential and commercial properties with roll-off dumpster rentals available. Call 618-925-1215 or find us on Facebook at Anderson Boys Trash Service.
So tight formation with Winters lined up at quarterback. Hazel to his left. Winters plows his way forward, and the right play call again. The timeout pays off as they get 2, and all of a sudden it's 21-15. And we'll see if that pays dividends. Anderson Boys Trash Service, our point-after sponsor, that time a 2-point variety, but we'll see if that decision pays dividends down the stretch. If this ends up being a close game, you never know what that 2-point difference, instead of going for the 1, might play a factor down the stretch.
Most of all, just the momentum that gives the Wildcats. You got the score you're already all hyped up about, and then you get them to jump. Again, Roper doing a good job of getting some false start counts tonight. Gets that 2-point conversion, and now just like that, you're back at a 1-possession game.
Well, now here's the other thing. The defense has 1:30 to get back off the field and keep it a 6-point game going into the half. Collinsville will have the ball to start the second half as well, so as good as you're feeling right now, you can feel equally as bad going into the half, with Collinsville coming out of the half with possession if you give up points here. So you got to hold it at 6, and you can't afford any mistakes on special teams, and you can't afford any penalties, as I think we have one there right on cue as I had the word coming out of my mouth.
You don't see that every day. Offsides on a kickoff.
Referees getting their work in, having to run all the way to the other side of the field, and that one goes against Marion, an illegal formation. So right as I was saying it, Gage, you can't give Collinsville any free yards and any easier opportunities to add to this lead. You got to keep it at 6 points.
Yeah, you don't want to take your foot off the gas. Really keep that momentum on your side going into the locker room. I feel like you can try to take control and not allow Collinsville to erase this sort of comeback that Marion has formed here, making it a one-possession game.
We've got the Blake Winners fan club in the comments down below. Let us know who else you guys are supporting in the comments. Atkins answers back with a nice kick. They're going to try to bring it out.
And Harper's got room to run on that side.
And they bring him down at about the 39-yard line as Collinsville have 1:23 before the half. Collinsville does have 3 timeouts. Marion just used 2, so they've got 1 left.
Yeah, Marion got a little bit of help from the turf monster right there, Riley. But this will be a big drive right here. This could make a big impact on what the outcome of this game is. If Collinsville goes in to halftime with a 2-touchdown lead potentially, or Marion has a chance to stop them and then get the ball back to start the second half.
First and 10, Collinsville.
There was Winner's big play, then Broomfield capping off the scoring drive with the touchdown. As we're now sitting at 21-15, Winners had the 2-point conversion as well. Wilkinson dumps it off to Reynolds. He turns on the Jets. He gets out to the outside, and Collinsville will be within the 10-yard line after another big play. And that was the one I said you can't allow, Gage.
Yep, and Collinsville's gone to that misdirection of screens a few times tonight, this time a different way, sending the back out wide to the right, and they dumped it across the middle. And with perfect blocking, had 4 or 5 linemen right there ready to run with him and turned it into a big gain. And 20 seconds after you score a touchdown, you're back in the red zone on the defensive side.
First and goal from the 7. Collinsville trying to add to the 6-point lead. They hand it off. And Marion stops him there. That was Dyer, the ball carrier. Picks up 3, maybe 4 yards.
And Collinsville going to let that clock run a little bit, thinking that even if they don't score, they're not letting Marion get a chance to have the ball back here with those extra timeouts that they have.
We're not sure if Collinsville has a kicking game. We have seen him on some PATs. Not sure what his range is, if they would even just kick it to get it back to a 2-possession game. They will use a timeout to talk it over. Their first timeout of the half. Michael Anderson from Anderson Boys Trash Service is watching. Who else is watching? Let us know in the comments during this timeout.
Hey, this is Michael Anderson, owner of Anderson Boys Trash Service. We are locally owned and operated. We are reliable and affordable. Weekly trash service. I look forward to hearing from you soon. I appreciate you, and my family appreciate the business.
Now serving residential and commercial properties with roll-off dumpster rentals available. Call 618-925-1215 or find us on Facebook at Anderson Boys Trash Service.
Out of the timeout, it's 2nd and goal from the 4 for this Collinsville offense. We were talking about it on the break. This is a team that only scored 6 points in week 1, 8 points in week 2, and 6 points in week 3. They've already got 21 against Marion here in the first half. Low snap, they hand it off. Dyer trying to find the end zone, and he does. And all night long, every time Marion on this homecoming with their big crowd makes a big play and gets the crowd into it, the K-Hawks from Collinsville unfazed, going into that Marion Maniacs student section in front of the Heck Center, have answered back every single time tonight in quick fashion.
Yeah, and I tell you what, if this is a heavyweight fight, it feels like every score from Collinsville is a Mike Tyson right hook.
Absolutely. Absolutely. As Marion, the weight of those back-to-back losses starting to mount, as Marion, a team that a couple of years ago started 4-0 and lost the last 5, starting to feel the pressure of trying to get back into those playoffs. Now we're down 13. We'll have 19 seconds for a kick return and then maybe 1 or 2 offensive plays before the half. It will be Collinsville ball. We'll start the second half as well. Keep that in mind. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Denon Davis. I'm a family practice physician at Deaconess, Illinois Clinic. I've greatly enjoyed practicing in Southern Illinois in general. Of course, I grew up here and I wanted to come back and provide care for the people I grew up with. A small town area to raise your children and to have a practice is hands down better than being in an urban area or city. When you come to my office and you see me, I usually try to be pretty detailed, especially on your first visit. I want to know everything about you. I usually will review your entire chart. Thereafter, you'll usually get an after visit summary that I provide. It's got each problem typed out, and you get a print up of that every time you come and see me. I want you to know and understand everything that you come to see me for. The most rewarding part of family medicine is getting to know the people that you take care of, developing those relationships, and as I tell
19 seconds to go before the half. Marion nearly botched it again. If they would have let that one go, Gage, it might have bounced out of bounds for a penalty. But Max Wade fell on it, and so Marion's offense has 16 seconds to try to make something happen.
Yeah, I think you might see maybe a pass up the middle. I know the Wildcats, you like the deep ball, but you don't want to find yourself in a spot where you throw a pick and give them a chance to make a play.
They'll line up on the 32. We'll see if Marion tries to take a shot at it or just goes into the half.
Wouldn't be shocked if Junius gets this ball over there with the 4 out on that right side of the field.
Hoffman alone on the bottom of the screen. They go to him. No room at all for Hoffman. He refuses to go down. I don't think he's been brought down tonight. He was stood up on his other catch tonight. And that will do it for the half. Marion had a timeout, but they chose not to use it. And we go into the half with Collinsville coming into Wildcat Stadium here on homecoming and taking a 28-15 halftime lead. Our John A. Logan College, Why Would You Go Anywhere Else halftime show is coming up. We'll show you the Marching Wildcat Band's homecoming performance. The Marion dance team is here as well. The color guard will be involved in the performance. And we'll have the homecoming court being introduced down on the field at halftime as well. So you don't want to miss it. We'll have an extended halftime coming to you right after this quick word from our sponsors.
At The Hub, we're not just a fitness center. We're a community powered by people who care. Our dedicated staff will guide you every step of the way on our world-class fitness floor. Dive into fun in our aquatic center. And with our fitness and aquatics classes, there's something for everyone. Join us for family events that bring our community closer. We're people-powered and we are here for you, creating a fitness experience that feels like family. Join us today at The Hub, where health and happiness meet.
Welcome to Wit Wisdom, located at 202 North Market in downtown Marion, Illinois. We're open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 5. Stop in and check out our spirit wear, custom tees, embroidery services, and more, all in a historical boutique setting. Check us out anytime online at www.witandwisdomstore.com.
Hi, I'm Tyler Young with the Print Shop here in Marion. We're on the square. We just got done doing some perforated vinyl here at Swinford Publications. So this is the vinyl that you can see out, but people can't see in, and it gives a nice little look and feel to a number of different kinds of businesses. So come see us at the Print Shop. We're at 1112 North Carbon, next to AutoZone behind Hardee's.
We'd like to introduce this year's homecoming court.
Down on the field at halftime here at Wildcat Stadium for homecoming. We've got the homecoming court being recognized. There's the retiring king and queen.
Freshman attendance. Riley Bowles.
Freshman attendance Riley Bowles, Maisie Disney, Taylor Lane.
Sophomore attendance, Caitlin Boca.
We'll go ahead and send it to Laura Sanders on the public address here for the rest of the entertainment.
Junior attendance, Nevaeh Beck, Abby Dalton, Eliana Hale, Marley Newsom, Amelia Odell, and our senior queen candidates, Kennedy Blue, Maddie Dunning, Charlotte Marlowe, Alani Mew, Bryn Smith, Leela Springblue, and Tiana White. The 2025 Homecoming Court. Tonight, the Marching Wildcat Band is proud to perform the song Joyride from their 2025 competitive field show entitled Play. They are led on the field tonight by drum majors Daniel Brame, Harlan Whiteford, and Isabel Moore. Drum majors, is your band ready? Marching Wildcats, you may now take the field. Originally written as a march by MHS band director George Ashley, this next song was composed pre-World War II for our school. This nearly 90-year-old version has 3 sections, and in the 3rd section you can clearly hear the melody that became our school loyalty. So in tribute to 1940s band director George Ashley, and in what has become an annual homecoming event, the award-winning Marching Wildcat Band and the state champion varsity dance team will perform to the original school song.
That was the Marching Wildcat Band, the Marion High School dance team in color guard here at halftime at Wildcat Stadium, where the Wildcats trail the K-Hawks 28-15. We're going to send it back down on the field real quick for the Marion loyalty here on homecoming, then we'll have...
Hi Wildcat fans, I'm Brad Poole, President of the Watermark Auto Group. I invite you to come experience the fastest, friendliest, and fairest car buying in our little corner of the world. Our friendly sales representatives will provide you in writing with our best price, trade value, monthly payments, all within minutes of your request. No pressure, no hurdles, no tricks, and no surprises. Experience the Watermark difference for yourself at Watermark Ford Hyundai or Watermark Nissan of Marion. Fast, friendly, fair. That's Watermark.
Since 1999, Clark Natural Stone is a family-owned business that strives to not only offer you the best selection of rock and mulch in the country, but also provide you with the best service. Clark Natural Stone Slinger Truck is a great option when you need rock, sand, or gravel placed in an area not easily accessible to a conventional dump bed. To schedule your delivery or to ask any questions, call 618-997-3889 or visit our website, clarknaturalstone.com.
Hi, I'm Joni, Director at Binkley-Ross Funeral Homes. When you're faced with loss, it's comforting to know that someone who understands your pain is here to help. That's why I brought Blue and Mitchell Hughes Funeral Homes back under local ownership alongside Binkley-Ross Funeral Home. We've been serving Marion and Williamson County families with compassion and care for years, and we know how important it is to feel supported in your time of need. If you have questions or concerns about your previous arrangements, we're here to support you with understanding and kindness. You can always rely on us for honesty, respect, and care you deserve. Marion is not only my home, Marion is my heart.
Contact Kenya Garner for an auto quote today.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard gives me a lot of opportunities. I have the ability to serve close to home, wherever that may be in the volunteer state. It also provides tuition benefits, making it possible to get the education I've always wanted. And since my service is part-time, I can pursue my dream job in the career field I choose. With part-time service in the Army National Guard, I really can have it all.
Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Your dream wedding gown awaits at Blush and Ivory Bridal, the most recommended bridal boutique in Southern Illinois. At Blush and Ivory, you won't be lost in the crowd. With every private appointment, the entire boutique is yours. Just you, your loved ones, and your personal stylist. Together, you'll discover a curated selection of gowns, veils, and accessories to create the bridal look you've always imagined. And say yes to the dress that brings out the bride in you. Schedule your private appointment today at Blush and Ivory Bridal, 307 North Market Street in Marion. Call 618-982-926.
I'm excited to represent Southern Illinois when playing basketball for SIU, and it's important to me to give back to this region. That's important to Banterra Bank also, and it's one of the reasons that I'm proud to be a customer. They support their communities, and with their mobile app, I can check my accounts, make payments, and more, all on my time. Plus, they offer a Saluki Visa debit card that supports SIU scholarships and athletics. That was an easy win for me. Banterra Bank, official partner of Saluki Athletics.
Do you feel like your business is sinking in accounting and payroll work? Are business taxes and confusing technology dragging you down? Call the experts at Kemper CPA Group. We'll answer your questions and give you the tools to keep your business afloat.
This is our John A. Logan College Why Would You Go Anywhere Else halftime show. At halftime here on homecoming in week 7, Collinsville leading Marion 28-15. I'm rejoined now by Gage Johnson. Gage, your takeaways from the first half, which featured lots of action, and I'm sure the common theme that you're going to touch on has been every time Marion had what they felt like was answer, Collinsville answered right back.
Yeah, it's been blow for blow throughout the game. Marion just finding themselves behind at getting off to that slow start once again. But, I mean, it's been all Wilkinson so far in this game. Has a bunch of big passing touchdowns, or passing plays for Collinsville. Has 2 rushing touchdowns on the night. He's really been the catalyst driving the K-Hawks offense, and the defense has only been able to stop him a number of times. So I think in this half it's up for the offense to kind of pick up the slack, maybe find the possession on their side for a little bit longer tonight, as it definitely doesn't feel like their possessions are lasting maybe a minute or two long tonight.
There's some replays from that first half, courtesy of our reporter down on the field, Aaron Price, thanks to his help tonight. filling in for Bill Swinford as our sideline reporter. One thing to note as we go inside the numbers, brought to you by Kemper CPA Group LLP. Gage, I just saw this stat come across my phone. With 182 passing yards in the first half, Marion quarterback Callahan Roper is now just the second quarterback in Marion history to go over 5,000 career yards.
And what an accomplishment. Despite what you're seeing is for the score, he's had a heck of a career and a solid season so far. And I know he's looking to have a bigger second half after making that accomplishment.
Let's go ahead and go around the region with some Southern Illinois scores. Johnson City 30, Hamilton County 0, DuQuoin 40, and Jonesboro 7. These scores are mostly at the half. Nashville 15, Pinckneyville 0. Murphy and Harrisburg tied at 7. All Carterville 35, Massac County 0. Olney and Paris 21, Olney. Richland County, Paris 7. Casey Westfield 7, Mount Carmel 6. Salem 6, Columbia nothing. Christopher Ziegler, Royalton, Elkville 32, Carmi White County 14. So former Marion coach, Johnson City coach, Sesser coach, Vienna Goreville coach, he's been everywhere. Mike Rude has Christopher on the upward trajectory once again. Flora 14, Fairfield 0, Chester 21, Dupo 7, Westland 13, Redbud 6, Sparta 34, Carlisle 0, Centralia trailing Cahokia 24-0. With the last two opponents Marion has played in the back-to-back losses, all Mount Vernon 41-0 over Granite City in just the second quarter. And Carbondale and Herrin all knotted up at 14. We'll see the Terriers in Carbondale next week. Herrin still searching for their first win, so we might see it there. Stay tuned to that score as the Terriers and Tigers are locked in a good one. They put some more time up on the clock to give these teams more time to get loose coming out of the extended halftime. We'll take a quick break to hear from our sponsors. We'll play our sponsor roll. Thanks to all of our sponsors who make these live streams possible. We'll be back with the second half right after this.
Thanks for watching this live stream of Marion High School athletics on the Wildcat Gameday. The action is brought to you by the Swinford Media Group and all of our sponsors. Watermark Auto Group, John A. Logan College, Black Diamond Family of Businesses, Illinois Army National Guard, Deaconess Illinois Medical Center, Binkley-Ross Funeral Home, Legence Bank, First Southern Bank, Bank of Herrin, Banterra Bank, Kenya Garner State Farm Insurance, Paul Jacobs for Senate, SouthernTrust Bank, Marion Plumbing, Austin Dickson, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Anderson Boys Trash Service, The Roofing Guys, Anderson's Furniture, SIU Credit Union, Clark Natural Stone, Kemper CPA Group, Wit Wisdom, The Hub Recreation Center, The Print Shop, Blush and Ivory Bridal Boutique,
set to kick off for the Wildcats.
We're ready for the start of the second half as Sam Adkins will kick it right to left. Collinsville back to receive, and it's a good one. A line drive kick goes through the hands. They got to pick this up now. And Marion with a chance to pin them deep, and they do. And maybe that's the break this Marion defense needed, as Jackson Owen and Jaden Twitty were back on the coverage. And Marion's defense, Gage, we talked about it off air during that last break, has only gotten off the field once tonight without giving up points. So they're tasked down 2 scores here. You would think a score here would be about all the nail in the coffin and their chances of winning this game. So you got to start this half with a stop.
Yeah, and you couldn't start off with better field position. Great job by Atkins with a solid kick, and Marion keeping Harper from being able to do much with it.
Collinsville starts on the 7, but we know what big play potential they have. Wilkinson towing the goal line as he hands it off, and there's a big run on first down for a first down. And all of a sudden they're back in good field position, and they took all of one play to get out of that hole.
Yeah, and I tell you what, you can only do plays like that when you really have a solid line that you trust. There was no one on that left side of the field, no receivers at all. And he handed it, cut back towards the middle, and trusted his lineman and got a huge gain out of it.
That was Amari Harper. Bad snap. Wilkinson picks it up, slings it out to the near side. And that was Christian Bargney. We read his name a few times in that first half. And Collinsville picks up right where they left off in that first half, moving the ball with pace, moving the ball with ease. And Jace Wilkinson and company have had no trouble moving the ball against this Marion defense tonight.
Yeah, they need to find a way to get a stop here, try to make them have to kind of recollect and get a big third down conversion.
7 yards on first down sets up 2nd and 3. Now from the 30, this drive started on the 7. Man goes in motion, that's Reynolds. They hand it off, they keep it on the ground. Picking up the first down is Stewart. And Lazarion Stewart gets more than enough yards for a first down out to the 40, picked up 10 yards. Jane Twitty brought him down, but they'll move the chains again for another first down. And we're a minute into this second half, and Collinsville's already moved the ball 34 yards on this drive.
Yeah, and it's very clear Collinsville came into this one knowing they were going to rely heavily on the running game. 3 running backs mixed in, and Wilkinson doing a lot on his own. It allows him to take chances like this.
Jump ball, Max Wade pushed out of bounds. Marion wanted offensive pass interference.
Yeah, that's a tough one too. I mean, not really making a play on the ball, just a 2-hand shove, and nothing there.
It was because Wade was already out of bounds, maybe why they didn't throw the flag, but Collinsville took a shot on 1st and 10 from the 41, and now it's 2nd and 10 with 10:37 here to go in the third. Marion's defense trying to keep it at just a 2-score game and give that offense a chance to cut into it.
I expect them to go right back to that ground game after that first pass play.
They do hand it off. It's Stewart and brought down for a loss. Hudson Wade. Then Aiden Broomfield back there in a hurry. Hudson Wade, one of those guys we talked about, a candidate these last 3 weeks for our Hub Recreation Center Player of the Game, a guy we haven't given it to yet this season that is always around the football.
Yeah, big-time tackle right there. An even bigger third down coming right here to see if they can get the offense the ball back.
3rd and 13, and now they had movement up front. We'll see who moved first.
It looked like it was Collinsville, but it's awfully close.
And a false start on Collinsville. Moves them back another 5 yards, and it's 3rd and 18, and you'd have to think, Gage, that this defense can get a stop here with the odds in their favor at 3rd and 18.
Yeah, huge break right there. Getting the 6'1", 310 offensive lineman, Caleb Patton right there to jump early. Now you're getting a break, and now they're probably going to have to force a pass play, but I would keep an eye on the draw. Wilkinson times that out pretty well.
Keep an eye on number 85 on the bottom of your screen, Loyal Patterson. He broke an 80-yarder to the house earlier. Wilkinson to pass. It's a draw. He's going to keep it himself, and Marion's there to wrap him up. Malachi Cooper, Jaden Twitty, and friends in on the coverage for the Cats. and we might see the first punt of the night for the K-Hawks.
Yeah, an interesting decision right here, because if you don't convert, you're giving Marion the ball on the 40. Let's see if Collinsville really trusts their defense.
4th and 11. Gain of 7 on the QB sneak. Marion's back to receive the punt, but they're going to send the defense back on the field at the last minute. Hoffman was back to return it, but Collinsville's going to go for it. Gutsy play call.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked to see Wilkinson scramble out of this either.
Wilkinson is going to punt it, so trying to catch Marion off guards, maybe try to pull Marion off sides, and after not being able to, Wilkinson took a step back and launched the punt. So Marion's defense, despite giving up a few big plays early in that drive, does its job, Gage, and just in 3 minutes and 16 seconds gets off the field.
Yeah, that's huge. This is the change you need to really make this a battle going on throughout the rest of the game. Marion needs to score right here, trim that 2-touchdown lead.
Marion's offense back on the field, working from the 26. Callahan, Roper, and company. Had moments in the first half where they were clicking, but still haven't shown their full potential that we've seen at times this season. 6 receivers this time. They swing it out to Max Wade, who follows a blocker on the wide receiver screen and turns on the Jets. Max Wade on homecoming is going to go 74 yards to the house, and Max Wade just entered the conversation with 1 play for the Hub Recreation Center player of the game. And 1 offensive play was all the Wildcats needed in the second half.
And man, that's got to feel good for him. He got burned earlier in the game for that big touchdown to Patterson. Makes up for it right there with a huge play. This is the type of energy that the Wildcats really needed. You see Callahan right there absolutely firing his team up.
Now it's a 7-point game. If you remember earlier in this game, Marion converted a 2-point conversion after a Collinsville offsides penalty. They've had a few of those tonight. So now a chance to cut it to 6 with the point after. Sam Adkins, limited to kicking duties, will come and do it. Roper to hold. And just like that, Marion is back within a score. Hold is good, kick is good, and Roper to Max Wade for 76 yards. All of a sudden makes it a 28-22 game. Thanks to Michael Anderson and Anderson Boys Trash Service for sponsoring the point afters and sponsoring our live streams all season long. Call Michael Anderson at Anderson Boys Trash Service or look him up on Facebook for all your waste removal needs. We'll be right back. The Wildcats have regained momentum here on homecoming.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard gives me a lot of opportunities. I have the ability to serve close to home, wherever that may be in the volunteer state. It also provides tuition benefits, making it possible to get the education I've always wanted. And since my service is part-time, I can pursue my dream job in the career field I choose. With part-time service in the Army National Guard, I really can have it all.
Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Looks like Marion might indeed go for, well, a different kickoff formation there. I don't want to guess. They will just kick it away. I almost thought we were going to see an onside. Gage and I talked about it during the break. Collinsville botches the return again, but this time they're able to make something out of it. There is a flag on the play. This one might be coming back as Amari Harper made something out of nothing there. Might have been aided by a penalty. But I was about to say that return notwithstanding, Gage, that every time Marion has had a big play tonight, Gage, Collinsville's answered back, and we can't afford another one there. And we about saw it on that kick return, but we might have had an illegal block on Collinsville.
Yeah, and I'm intrigued. We don't see anybody running back just yet, and that'd be a tough break for the Wildcats if it's staying where it's at.
Face mask on the Wildcats. So the big return stands, and boy, does that hurt. As Collinsville instead of being pinned deep in their own territory after the botched return is working inside the 20 now. 1st and 10 from the 16 with a chance to answer back after the big score from Max Wade. And another gut punch, another Mike Tyson, like you were saying, Gage.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just when you feel like you finally got it on your side, especially after that 2-point conversion, right now a stop and a score would tie the game before even the point after.
Right.
Now you're finding yourself with your back up against the wall again as that face mask, it looks like it's moving them forward even more from the original spot. So now I think the ball's sitting at the 8.
Yeah, so they spotted at the 16, then they took it to the 8. So what a turn of events here as Collinsville will have 4 tries to punch it in inside the 10. Marion's got to force a penalty or force a turnover somehow, some way here. Handoff. Nope, it's a keeper from Wilkinson. Faked everybody out except for Caden Jacobs and Malachi Cooper and Hudson Wade, who kept their eyes on the football and got a stop.
Yeah, we're really going to see what the Wildcats defense is made of right here. It's going to take some insane resiliency to keep the K-Hawks out of the end zone right here.
1-yard pickup, 2nd and 7. Under 8 minutes to go in the third. Still lots of football to be played here tonight. Still 20 minutes of game action. Two receivers bunched out to the left. Patterson alone out to the right. Keep an eye on him. Wilkinson in the shotgun like he has been all night. He's going to hand it off. Got to keep an eye on it now. As that was Stewart there. They like to spread the wealth. And it's going to be 3rd and goal. You would think 4-down territory because we don't know for sure, but Collinsville likely would not kick it.
Yeah, and I mean, I'd expect them to run the ball too. I don't expect to see a pass play on either of these next 2 snaps if Marion gets a 3rd down stop.
3 yards to punch it in. Under 7 minutes to go here in the third. Collinsville trying to restretch the lead to 2 possessions. Collinsville still keeping it spread despite being at the 3. 3rd and goal from the 3. All 3s in the third quarter, I might add. They hand it off. Stewart breaks the plane, and Collinsville answers right back courtesy of the return and the face mask penalty that started the drive on the 8. And just as Marion thought they were back in this game, the Wildcats are staring down a 2-possession deficit.
Yeah, and I mean, as impressive as some of Collinsville's athletes have been, their line has just been total control over Marion's D-line. Right there, there was no question that he was getting into the end zone as all the linemen got pushed back into the end zone before he'd even touched the ball.
Collinsville with a chance to make it a 13-point game. They have the special teams unit in to kick the point after. You would have to think at some point they might try to go for 2 to restretch that back to a 14-point lead, but right now it looks like all indications are they're going to kick the 1-pointer. Kicking towards the Heck Center, the Marion Maniacs standing silent right now after Collinsville answered right back, and it's been that way all night tonight. Kick is up and good onto the roof at the Heck Center to our right. And Collinsville leads 35-22. The K-Hawks trading blows with the Wildcats on this homecoming battle.
Your dream wedding gown awaits at Blush and Ivory Bridal, the most recommended bridal boutique in Southern Illinois. At Blush and Ivory, you won't be lost in the crowd. With every private appointment, the entire boutique is yours. Just you, your loved ones, and your personal stylist. Together, you'll discover a curated selection of gowns, veils, and accessories to create the bridal look you've always imagined. And say yes to the dress that brings out the bride in you. Schedule your private appointment today at Blush and Ivory Bridal, 307 North Market Street in Marion. Call 618-882-9296.
Another heartbreaker for the Wildcats after Collinsville was forced to punt, and Marion took one play from Max Wade to make it a one-possession game. Collinsville, thanks to a penalty and a nice return, started at the 8 and re-stretched their lead to 2 possessions here in the third quarter. Midway through the third quarter, Max Wade on the return there. Not much room for him, and once again, here comes the Marion offense. Feeling some pressure, Gage, because with it being a 2-possession game, you can't really feel like you have chances for many empty possessions here without points.
Yeah, with the way that Collinsville has managed the clock throughout the game, I mean, we were talking a little bit about it off air. Even in that, they started at the 8-yard line, and even in that 8 yards, they took 2 minutes off the clock. Not something you can really afford to do after giving up a score like that. So Marion really needs to answer back right here.
Starting on their own 31, Roper slings it out to Junius Thomas, makes a one-handed catch, but he went backwards.
And that could have been a lot worse, so good job to bring it down at least. But right there, immediately, right away, 5 yards back, and not a good look to start this drive for the blue and gold.
The last drive, it was a little screen pass to Wade they had success on. This time they tried to set up Thomas, but it's 2nd and 13 now. Now from the 28, Roper backing up. Now he's got Thomas with space. Thomas is going to turn on the Jets. He's got the first down and stiff arms his way out of bounds. So Junius Thomas back involved. He had himself a nice first half. Haven't called his name much yet in the second half, but back-to-back big plays for the first Southern Bank first down. And even though that first play was for a loss, it still was one heck of a one-handed grab.
Yeah, and I mean, they've really not had much of an answer for him.
Keep going to him. From midfield, this time it's Winters. Let us know in the comments if the Blake Winters fan section is still watching at home.
Nice job of Winters. He had a few yards. Tough spot there as he caught it. No blockers, and it's a 3-on-1 trying to make something out of nothing.
Still picked up 4 yards. 2nd and 6. Marion trying to get a rhythm. 3 receivers out to the right for Roper. Across the middle, intended for either Thomas or Winters. Both guys were near the football. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd and 6.
You don't complete the pass, but I like them looking across the middle. It's not something that Marion looks for very often in their offense. And there were 3 guys right there he could have gone to with. He had Winters cutting across back to that right side, Thomas, and then even Henry doing a little curl route, giving Roper some options if they can look for it if it's open again.
Now we have movement up front. Penalty against the
Marion
Wildcats. Marion can't believe it. Collinsville's been offsides all night, but this time they say Marion moved first and got Collinsville to jump. I didn't see the Marion movement. I just saw Collinsville come plowing through the line, so that penalty hurts as now all of a sudden it's 3rd and long.
Probably the biggest play of the night for this offense.
At the 49, they need the opposite 40 for the first down. 5:19 to go in the third. Roper rolls out, looking, slings it, and incomplete, intended for Max Wade. And this might be 4-down territory, down 2 scores here without much chances of stopping Collinsville. A decision coming for Coach Dunning and company.
Yeah, and a tough outcome there. Wasn't a bad pass by any means. I think felt a little pressure there and wasn't able to bring it down. Marion's just looking to really find some rhythm and just hasn't found it. But it looks like they might be going for it the way that they're kind of setting up.
Big 4th and 11 here. They do go for it. Roper drops back. Now he rolls. Looking. Steps up. Wants Thomas.
Wow.
And a heck of a catch on that far side for Junius Thomas.
And, I mean, like we've said, you just got to keep going to him, man.
He's
the only one right now that is really just continually beating that defense. I mean, he was completely turned around. He was running across the middle, did a little 2-touch there, tap danced back around, and made a catch falling to the ground.
Hoffman gets in on the action. Thomas thought he was open for 6 downfield, but instead they get Hoffman for a short gain. Looks like he got maybe 7 yards on first down. 2nd and 3. 4 receivers set for Roper. Marion up to the line quickly. Steps into one, wants Thomas, and who else but Junius Thomas. 30 yards to the house. And Marion's offense comes back with a blow of their own, and Junius Thomas having himself a night on his senior homecoming. Keep going to him, we've said, and indeed they do there for a 30-yard score. And once again, Gage, Marion's hanging around.
Yeah, we talked about it. That fourth down was definitely the biggest play of this game, because you turn that over, you're looking at a rough spot with Collinsville taking control. And just like this, now if we can get this point after, Marion looking again at just a score, tying this game up if the defense can string together another stop.
Well, I got to have better kick return coverage and don't face mask somebody this time, too.
And it looks like Collinsville jumped again.
For the second time tonight.
Offside, Collinsville.
Collinsville jumps off sides on a point after attempt. I'm not sure of all plays why that one. How many times have you seen a point after blocked? Like, why are you getting so antsy?
Look who's coming out there for at quarterback for the Wildcats there, Riley.
Number 9?
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. It's Aiden Broomfield. 1 yard out with a chance to make this a 5-point game. Pretty well a free play because it's already a 7-point game, so why not? Broomfield, this time stuffed, and they can't get the tush push either. So you're stuck at 7. Really a free chance at it, really, the way you look at it. So it's really no harm done going for it. 35-28. Marion's defense trying to hold it when we come back.
I'm excited to represent Southern Illinois when playing basketball for SIU, and it's important to me to give back to this region. That's important to Banterra Bank also, and it's one of the reasons that I'm proud to be a customer. They support their communities, and with their mobile app, I can check my accounts, make payments, and more, all on my time. Plus, they offer a Saluki Visa debit card that supports SIU scholarships and athletics.
That was an easy win for me.
Banterra Bank, official partner of Saluki Athletics.
We've got a brand new game. It's 35-28. Last time this happened, Collinsville got out to the 8-yard line and punched it in to go back up 2 scores. Let's see if Marion's defense and special teams unit can do their job now and keep this a 1-score game as Adkins does his job with the touchback. Starting on the 20 is a little different than the 8.
Yeah, this is probably the biggest drive for Marion defensively. It feels like they've had to play just a step behind every time. This would be huge if they can get a stop and Marion have a chance to score.
There was a look at Max Wade's 70-yard plus house call earlier in this half. There's a look at Junius Thomas's 30-yard score moments ago. That put us here 35-28. The 2-point conversion try was no good. And now Marion's defense, with plenty of time, still about 16 and a half minutes in this ball game, trying to get a stop here. A score would not be the end of the world, but you'd feel much better if you can get a stop.
Absolutely, and I think you got to, again, look at their ground game. They're going to try to kill some time off that clock with just under 5 minutes to go here in the third. Really looking to wear out that Wildcat defense. So going to be a big possession right here as you see. Looks like Winters is getting a short break.
He's got some blood, I believe. He's going to have to see the trainer. Down on the trainer's table, Jackson Owen into sub as Collinsville and Jace Wilkinson set up shop on 1st and 20. Or 1st and 10 from the 20, I should say. Looking, under pressure, slings it across the middle, and they try to answer right back as Collinsville likes those competitive responses. Every time Marion has had a big play in this game, Collinsville tries to come out firing, it seems. Marion caught a break there as they were not able to connect.
Yeah, Wilkinson was ready to sling it. He stepped up in that pocket ready to fire. Maybe he got a little bit too amped up there, overshot his 2 targets.
No harm done. 2nd and 10 from the 20. Collinsville working left to right, wearing those road white jerseys with the purple Collinsville across the chest. Purple numbers, purple helmets, white socks. Man in motion. Now we got 3 receivers on the near side. Bat snap hits the turf. Malachi Cooper put pressure on and forced Wilkinson to throw it into the sideline near Saline and Williamson County FCA sponsor Austin Dickson and former Marion coach Kerry Martin on that sideline.
A huge play now and a big 3rd down. Got to keep your eye on Wilkinson. I think he's the guy to watch right here, as it's been all him tonight for Collinsville.
Big 3rd down. Can the defense force a 3 and out? We have not seen one of those yet tonight, I don't believe, Gage.
No, we have not. This would be massive for the blue and gold.
Momentum shifting towards the Cats. Can they secure it here? 3rd and 10 from the 20. Collinsville with no yards gained on this drive. And not much time off the clock either, as they have thrown it away twice instead of their ground and pound game. Marion has 4 down D linemen. They send the pressure. Wilkinson looking.
All sorts of time.
Steps into one across the middle and nearly picked off, but still incomplete. Andre Jones in on the coverage, number 13 in the blue and gold. And Collinsville, unsportsmanlike, Gage, looking a little bit like Marion, getting a little pass happy. And they've had success running that football all night long, Gage. Interesting 3 decisions there to throw the ball.
Yeah, that's the first time I haven't seen Wilkinson take off for it after having so much time. Right there, really nothing was developing. I thought he was going to take off for sure, but now Marion in a fortunate spot because surely Collinsville's not going to try to go for this right here.
Wilkinson has punted once tonight, doubling as the punter. Stands on the 15. Now he's going to drop back, and we have a timeout from Coach Jason Dunning. The thing with keeping the quarterback on the field as the punter, you always got to think about the fake. And so Marion's going to take a timeout with 4:14 to go here in the 3rd. What a game this is shaping up to be on homecoming here in week 7.
Do you feel like your business is sinking in accounting and payroll work? Are business taxes and confusing technology dragging you down? Call the experts at Kemper CPA Group. We'll answer your questions and give you the tools to keep your business afloat.
Out of the timeout, we have a big 4th down here. Marion with a chance to regain the ball, down just 7 here on homecoming.
They're choosing not to have anybody back to receive if they do punt.
Marion's playing it safe. Wilkinson is dropping back to punt. Now Blake Winters is going to scurry back there. Wilkinson kicks it up. High punt. Winters signaled fair catch, now gets away from it as it bounces right at midfield on that Marion Gold M. And here come the Wildcats offense with a chance to tie this game. And this is the situation you wanted to put yourself in, Gage. A chance to tie it here in the 2nd half after being down 2 scores at the break.
Absolutely. Being at midfield right here, probably the best chance you could get and what you're looking for to start this drive. Just a really crucial time to make sure you make each play. You don't try to go too far for the home run right away. That's the smallest amount of possession time that Collinsville's had tonight. Momentum really could swing your way if you can tie this ball game right now.
Cannot afford a turnover if you're the Wildcats. 3 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. They give to Hazel. Short gain. Probably about 3 yards there on 1st down for Hazel.
And I like it. Go to the ground game first. Try to gain some yards that way before you go try to air it out. Wouldn't be shocked if we saw it again right here.
2nd and 7. They go back to him, this time with room. Marcus Hazel with the first Southern Bank first down. And good play calling there to keep it on the ground 2 times. And now he's going to get a break as Blake Winters is back into the game. Junius Thomas now stands in the backfield. Keep an eye on him. He's been a playmaker all night.
Wouldn't be shocked to see him come out this left for a screen with Winters on that side.
There he goes. Roper sacked, and a big sack there.
Man. And if he'd had some time right there, they were looking for Hoffman cutting across the middle. He had his defender beat, but I mean, Roper had no time. As soon as he looked towards Hoffman, he was hit.
A.J. Richardson from Collinsville there to wrap him up. 8-yard loss makes it 2nd and 18. The ball's spotted at the far left tip of that Marion M at midfield.
And a tough break, but you don't want to hang your head, right? You've got 2 more plays, a third if you don't choose to punt. Just that next play mentality is what you need right here.
2nd and 18 from the 43. Wade goes in motion. Roper has to get rid of it. Thomas caught it on his shoestrings. Now stays on his feet, and he's going to still be on his feet. Somehow still moving the pile. And a lot of movement just to get back to the line of scrimmage. But that could have been disastrous, and Junius Thomas went and caught that ball off his shoelaces and then made about every member of the Collinsville football team miss him.
Yeah,
all that to pick up 1 yard, but still.
I mean, man, and this is not the time you want your O-line to get outmatched. I mean, 2 plays in a row where Roper had maybe 1 to 2 seconds to make a decision.
They've been in his grill in a hurry, and now it's 3rd and 17 or 18 with under 2 minutes to go here in the 3rd. Roper rolling out, steps up, wants Hoffman.
Good ball.
What a pass!
And
Logan Hoffman, what a catch!
Holy cow.
The homecoming crowd on their feet. And just as Marion needed a big play, it's Logan Hoffman, our player of the game a week ago, coming up with a heck of a catch. And the poise from Roper after getting rocked on 2 straight possessions to hang in there and find Hoffman there on 3rd and long. Now it's 1st and goal from the 7.
I mean, a great throw on the run just in time before he got the line of scrimmage, too.
Now they give it to Winters. Stopped about the 5. Blake Winters with 2 yards on 1st down. Marion can sniff it. They're within 5 yards of tying this game.
And I think you got to keep going to the ground. Mix who's getting the handoff. Keep Collinsville on their toes, but I don't think now's the time you want to make a pass here.
2nd and 4 from the 4. Play action. They pull it back, give to Winters. Ran into his own guy, and then Collinsville was there and lost the ball. They say it was dead.
And man, that's unfortunate. If Winters would have been able to turn his body just a little bit so he could see he could take a step back and he'd get around for that touchdown.
Him and Hoffman had some miscommunication, bumped into each other. That didn't help. Now it's 3rd and 3, definitely 4-down territory. 2 chances to punch it in. Thomas on one side, Hazel on the other, and Collinsville jumps off sides again. It's like when they get the ball right here, either on special teams, on point afters, or in the red zone, Collinsville can't help themselves. Here's a look at that pass and catch. Roper to Hoffman, and a candidate for our Thrillbillies thrilling moment of the game. You see Junius Thomas cheering on his teammate there, tapping his helmet. And they're going to let the 3rd quarter clock expire and use this as a timeout to talk it over. After 3 quarters, we are locked in a good one on homecoming. It's 35-28 Collinsville, but Marion's at the 2 with the chance to tie it to start the 4th when we come back. Don't go anywhere. We've got a classic shaping up here on homecoming.
We want to help students when they come right out of high school, but we're also here for the adults. After high school, I went to my local community college, and after my first semester, realized that I wasn't quite ready to go to college. And I went back to work in construction for roughly about 15 years. And at the same time, I took classes at community college. It's this idea that you can go back to school at any time for anything, and that's what a community college does for you. That's what John A. Logan does for you.
Black Diamond Harley-Davidson presents Why I Ride.
Hi, I'm Les Ingram, and this is Why I Ride. I taught special education for 28 years. I haven't drank in 34 years. I needed something to relieve the stress, and the bike does it wonderfully. I've been riding 34 years. I currently have, through the Harley Owners Group, Ride 365, I have 649,607 miles. As a matter of fact, I don't want to go anywhere unless I'm traveling on the Harley.
A big play to start the fourth quarter as Marion has 3rd and goal from the 2. Roper at quarterback, Hazel to his right, Max Wade out to the right, Hoffman out to the left. They go to Hazel, big hole across the middle, and he finds the house for a touchdown. And now a 1-point game and a chance to kick it towards the Maniacs to tie it.
And there he is, Hazel again. It feels like anytime they get a huge score or a huge play on the ground game, it's from him. He's just become such a huge part of Marion's ground game.
Marion has outscored Collinsville by 2 scores in this half. They trailed by 2 scores at the break, and now with a chance to tie it. In to snap it is Austin Moore. Roper will hold. Adkins will kick. 5 seconds into the fourth quarter, we are tied, courtesy of the Anderson Boys Trash Service. Point after from the leg of Sam Adkins. It is 35-35 on homecoming. And the competitive response to start the second half from the Wildcats has tied the game. And now all the pressure is on Collinsville, which has saw their lead evaporate here in the second half.
Yeah, this is the first time that the Wildcats have not been trailing since 11:43 in the second quarter,
wow.
Riley.
Great catch there. We'll keep it here as we get ready for the ensuing kickoff. Marion has came out with some new energy in this second half, and despite a few big plays that allowed Collinsville to score and a couple mishaps on special teams and a penalty, it has been all Marion in this second half, and we're going to bring you some second angles of those big plays from down on the field. There is Hazel punching it in moments ago. He was all fired up, number 26 in the blue and gold, coming right into your living room there. The Marion Maniacs love what they're seeing, watching that kick go over their heads onto the roof of the Heck Center. See Aiden Pickles waving the flag there with the Marion Maniacs, part of their new sitting student section down there in the end zone. Atkins.
What a boot.
Sends it sailing into the end zone. And Collinsville will start on the 20, and all the momentum is on the Wildcat side. Lots of shout outs there for Marcus Hazel and company. Also got the Blake Winters fan club commenting down below. Let us know as this fourth quarter plays on who you'd like to see be named our Hub Recreation Center player of the game and our Deaconess Illinois Medical Center post-game show immediately following what's shaping up to be a homecoming classic here at Wildcat Stadium. Wilkinson back at quarterback for the K-Hawks. The stop here would be huge for the Wildcats. They keep it on the ground on first down, and Jaden Twitty and Hudson Wade meet him at the goal line. Excuse me, the line of scrimmage.
And you can just see a new sense of energy over the Wildcats. You can read it in their body language and how they're playing. And now, like you said, Collinsville really feeling the pressure. This is a huge drive right here.
3 yards on first down for Stewart. 2nd and 7 from the 23. Wilkinson tried to keep it himself, but immediately wrapped up. I couldn't tell who was in there, Gage.
There's a myriad of Wildcats right there. That's a full team effort to get that stop. And, man, right when you need it, now they're back at the line of scrimmage. if you can get another stop right here, you're going to find yourself a pretty good field position.
Absolutely. Hudson Wade dropped in for a loss of 3.
Winners and company trying to get that crowd going.
Malachi Cooper was also in on the coverage. 3rd and 10. Marion's defense has new life. 10:40 to go in this ball game. Wilkinson trying to get the Wildcats off sides. Disciplined, they stay down, and now they jump right as I say it. So they'll get 5 free yards, and instead of 3rd and 10, it's 3rd and 5, and I believe it was Cooper on that far side, Gage.
Yep, and that's all right. It is obviously not what you want to see, but you got to get going right here on this play.
Hudson Wade's pumped. He's trying to fire up this defense. Some words of wisdom there from the senior. Still got a hold on 3rd and 5. 10:30 to go in this game. Clock running. Marion with 2 timeouts. Collinsville with 3. 4 down D linemen for the Cats. Wilkinson from the shotgun. He tries to keep it himself. Not much room there for the quarterback, and it's going to be 4th and short, and we'll see what decision Collinsville does here. Is the gutsy play call there from Wilkinson. Oh, they say he got the first down. Questionable spot from up here. It looked like they were way short, Gage. Fans booing down below us.
I got to say, I don't know that it really would have mattered much with 4th and short. Would have been really hard to stop a QB keeper with it being, I mean, it wasn't 4th and 1, it was 4th and inches if they didn't get it. So, fresh set of downs. You got to wipe that kind of, that mishap from your mind, and now you've got to move on and make a play here if you're the Wildcat defense.
It was really the encroachment penalty that cost them more than that last run. Man goes in motion. New set of downs for the K-Hawks. They give it to Stewart. Alex Henry and Aiden Broomfield in on the tackle for the Cats.
And if you're Marion, you want to be cautious, but you got to know they're going to keep running that ball. As much as they want to score, if they can take more time off that clock, Collinsville is going to feel a little bit more under control here towards the end of this game.
9:20 to play. Collinsville has done a good job tonight, as Gage has mentioned, managing that clock. 3-yard pickup made it 2nd and 7 now from the 33. Drops back to pass, dumps it off. Now with some room and picking up a first down was their top receiver, Loyal Patterson.
Yeah, I couldn't see who the Marion defender was. Nearly got a hand on that screen pass, but Collinsville moving the chains once again.
2nd first down on this drive for the K-Hawks. 8:50 to play. Alongside Gage Johnson, I'm Riley Swinford. Ross Swinford on the controls. Aaron Price on the sidelines tonight. Abby Collum also up here in the booth tonight helping out as part of our Swinford Media Group Wildcat Game Day live stream team. Bringing you a good one on an instant classic here on homecoming. Marion trying to snap a 2-game skid, and we've got a timeout.
I think it's an official's timeout for the spot. They just moved the ball forward about a yard.
Still trying to sort it out.
Here in the 4th quarter, not the time you want to start not understanding where the ball's putting down at.
Now they say play on. 1st and 10 from the Collinsville 44, working towards midfield from that far right hash. Low snap. Wilkinson picks it up. Now he's going to keep it himself across the middle for a first down. And that was Broomfield on the tackle, but Wilkinson has been a dangerous weapon all night. 5'10", 157-pound quarterback. He'll also play point guard for the K-Hawks basketball team this winter.
Yeah, that read option has just been killer for them. Right there, if that was a run and he'd handed it off, Caden Jacobs had that running back.
Yeah, no.
But Wilkinson kept it. Nice job for another first down. He continues to lead that charge.
He's kept the Wildcats and the announcers guessing all night long. Tight formation for the K-Hawks, working from the opposite side of the 50 now into Marion territory. Drops back to pass. Steps into one. He's got Patterson for the first down. Blake Winters and company trying to bring him down. He's still on his feet. Finally brought down at the 25-yard line Loyal Patterson has been a weapon out of that receiving core. He's kind of their version of Junius Thomas, as he is a 5'10", 157-pound senior wearing number 85 in white.
And Marion's got to find some way to regroup. They're just kind of getting trotted downfield here. Like we said, Collinsville taking a huge chunk of clock and really just taking control of the tempo of this quarter.
A 4-minute drive and counting for the K-Hawks. Another first down, new set of downs for Collinsville. Alex Henry wraps up the ball carrier this time as they went to Dyer, this time 24. Picked up maybe 1 or 2 yards before running into Henry.
Yeah, and that's played a huge part of their running game, too. They've had 3 running backs with a 4th, essentially, in Wilkins. They've been able to kind of keep their legs fresh, really making the Marion defense work all night long.
2nd and 9 with 6:30 to play in this ball game from the Marion 24. To pass.
Oh, it's tipped.
It was tipped, but still brought in. He's going to be short of the first down. And it was Logan Odell that time looking it in after it was tipped at the line of scrimmage.
This isn't the first time Marion's found themselves in this spot in this drive. This is another big 3rd down. They really need to find a way to get this stop right here and make them have to try to convert on 4th.
3rd and 5, under 6 minutes to play. Marion with 2 timeouts, Collinsville with 3. 3 receivers out to the right. Wilkinson stands on the 25 in the shotgun. Definitely 4-down territory for the K-Hawks. They hand it off and met at the line of scrimmage by a group of Wildcats led by Hudson Wade, Alex Henry, and Malachi Cooper. And now a big 4th down incoming.
That was huge. And then for Collinsville, you got another sub, another running back coming on the field now. So, I mean, Collinsville, is looking at that ground game. I wouldn't be shocked to see another read option here on 4th with Stewart out there now.
4th and 9. The Wildcats urging this crowd on homecoming to get up on their feet. 5 minutes to play in this game.
And they just brought out 2 tight ends, too, putting them on that left side. Collinsville definitely.
Oh, they're going to line up for a field goal. Wow. Matt Reynolds is going to try a 40-yarder. Wide left.
Wow.
About 45 yards. Field goal attempt, no good, and the Marion defense does its job, and the Marion offense, Gage, with 4:43 to play, has a chance after all of this to take the lead.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm just so shocked. I really thought that they would go for it, especially
not even a
in the
timeout
red
or
zone.
anything.
No, have all of them left. Thought that was the,
wow.
Especially when they brought out the extra tight ends, I thought, okay, maybe they're building up for a run, but no, gave him a chance to kick. Crazy time to give him his first field goal kick of the night.
Wow, he had the distance, but it was wide left. And now from the 24, Marion's offense with plenty of time. As I said, 2 timeouts. This is a Marion offense that isn't known to take a whole lot of time, but you'd like to use as much time as possible and give Collinsville back the ball with little time if you're able to score.
Yeah, and I think that sideline's got that message in mind too. Hazel in the backfield right now.
Collinsville's coach is way out on the field trying to get the officials' attention. I'm not sure what he's upset about. The referees are going to come together.
No shot he's complaining about the field goal, right?
There was a weird play a few years back when they missed a field goal and it changed the spot of the ball. And that's maybe what Collinsville's coach is trying to say, is there should be a different spot after the missed field goal. We saw that a few years back. We had to get an explanation on it. Now all the referees are going to huddle and talk about it. Collinsville's coach, Colton Rhodes, is standing, as you see there on your screen. He's way out onto the field near the 25-yard line, pleading his case over there on the far side. Now Dunning is equally out on Marion's sideline on the near side, staring him down.
And for a huddle of this long, I have a feeling this ball might be coming back a little bit.
I have a feeling the referees might not know what's going on.
Very possible. We go nowhere after all that.
So they say play on. 1st and 10 from the 24. Marion's fans below us fired up. With the ball on homecoming with a chance to take the lead. This is what you dream of. Roper hit as he throws. Risky pass, and I'm not sure that's what you want on 1st and 10 with 4.5 minutes to go.
Absolutely not, but he might have got lucky with a roughing the passer in the backfield.
Wow. Did not even see that. Indeed.
Wow.
3 yards there, so just by throwing it and getting the referee's attention to Roper as he was hit as he threw.
I mean, talk about a break. That's one of those plays right there. You don't want to go through the motions, right? You could tell he wanted to hit Thomas, and he was throwing to Thomas no matter what right there. And luckily that ball was towards out of bounds, and then even on top of that, got the extra yards from the roughing the passer.
Collinsville's coach already upset with whatever he was talking about moments ago is not going to be any happier after Marion got 3 yards up to the 46. The ball spotted right in the middle of that Marion M at midfield. 4:27 to play. 2 receivers to the right, 1 out to the left. They go to Hazel. Good decision here. Running across the middle, getting to midfield. 4, maybe 5 yards for Marcus Hazel. And still taking nominees for our Hub Recreation Center player of the game. Still wide open right now. It might be whoever scores the go-ahead touchdown.
Been a number of guys contributing tonight. They're going to need that effort throughout this 4th quarter drive.
2nd and 6. Going back to Marcus. Couple yards there for Marcus on the ground near that 1st down marker. We'll see where they spot it.
And I tell you what, as he's done such a good job with the ground game, establishing himself and making himself a threat, the future of the ground game is in good hands in Marcus Hazel.
Just a junior. 3rd and 1. He got 5 yards to set up 3rd and short now from the Collinsville 45. Marion across midfield into K-Hawk territory. And once again, Collinsville jumps off sides. It was the big fella, Ja'Cory York, number 72 in white, a free for Southern Bank 1st down as they just handed Marion a 1st down.
Yeah, and I can't hear what kind of hard count or snap count that Roper's doing, but whatever it is, he needs to keep trying that throughout the rest of the season because it's the most successful it's been all year.
Collinsville antsy multiple times tonight, just can't stay disciplined and stay down. Collinsville has given Marion all sorts of chances to get back into this game. Marion trying to capitalize now. They go back to Hazel, and why not? 4, maybe 5 yards on 1st down for Hazel. Brought down by 43, Jonathan Jones.
And, you know, we talked about Marion not wanting to really slow down the game. This is huge. I mean, you're getting close to another set of 1st downs. If Hazel can get it, and Marion's looking at a 2-minute drill.
Yeah, Marion playing uncharacteristic to their style right now. 2nd and 5 from the 35. Already a 2-minute possession here. This time they sniffed out the run to Hazel. And all fired up there coming out onto the field was Coach Skeet from the offensive line coach. And you don't see Coach Skeet come out on the field like that, but he was mad about a missed assignment right there.
Yeah, I mean, you ran the same exact play twice in a row, so if you're not going to make your block, it's not going to work. And right there, a big loss. Now looking at a 3rd and 8 rather than a few yards there.
That was 43 coming in to make that stop. It was Jones again. Roper under pressure. They hit his face mask, and then he found Max Wade. Max Wade again on homecoming. For the 2nd time tonight, Max Wade makes a big play, but the poise from Roper, who took a shot to the mask.
No flag on that either.
Wow.
It's incredible.
Took a shot to his face mask and then stepped up to find Max Wade for a 1st Southern Bank 1st down, and we're at the 17. Under 2 minutes to go. Marion still with 2 timeouts in their pocket. Here goes Roper. Out to the left, wants Hoffman and did not connect.
Yeah, just a second too early on that pass. Needed to wait just a little bit longer to hit Hoffman right there.
Tried to have the ball waiting on him when he turned around. Just a little miscommunication there between Roper and Hoffman. 2nd and 10 now with 1:33 to go. And we'll see at what point Collinsville wants to start using some timeouts. They still are sitting on all 3 of theirs.
Yeah, and honestly surprised to see Hazel sitting on that sideline. Would have liked to see him involved in one of these first 2 downs.
Instead, it's Winters to the right of Roper, Thomas to the left. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. They go, no, play action. Junius Thomas on the screen pass. Junius Thomas gives Marion the lead with the homecoming house call as he stands up as he trucked a Collinsville defender on his way into the end zone. And Junius Thomas having himself a night into the Marion Maniacs to give Marion a 6-point lead with 1:26 left and a chance for Sam Atkins to kick the PAT to make it a 7-point game.
Man, what a huge play. Thomas showing up time and time again tonight. And that honestly is one of the most impressive drives I've seen the Wildcats put together this year, Riley.
What was the time on it?
I think we got about 3 minutes there. I mean, usually Marion's pushing 30 seconds to a minute because they like to run and gun.
Point after, Atkins is on the rough and good as it bounces back into the Maniacs. And Marion has a 42-35 lead and is 1:26 away from a homecoming victory. Let us know in the comments below what your thoughts are as we head to break for one last timeout. We'll have the finish when we come back.
Hi, Wildcat fans. I'm Brad Poole, president of the Watermark Auto Group. I invite you to come experience the fastest, friendliest, and fairest car buying in our little corner of the world. Our friendly sales representatives will provide you in writing with our best price, trade value, monthly payments, all within minutes of your request. No pressure, no hurdles, no tricks, and no surprises. Experience the Watermark difference for yourself at Watermark Ford Hyundai or Watermark Nissan of Marion. Fast, friendly, fair. That's Watermark.
Sam Atkins will do the kicking here on this kickoff. With Marion up 7 with 1:26 to go. Boots it long. There will be a return. It's dropped again. Collinsville's had trouble with those all night.
Oh, but he's got a lot of room on that side.
Gets out to the right. He's got blocking out to his right and is brought down. And Collinsville will have 1:16 to try to tie this game or try to win it with a 2-point conversion if they can score. And Marion's defense has to come up big once again to hold this lead on homecoming.
And I tell you what, Riley, Collinsville's got to have some sort of superpower. You drop the ball on the kickoff and then it turns into 30, 40 yards.
It might be a strategy. They might do that on purpose. They've done it so many times tonight. There's the go-ahead score as you see Thomas still on his feet standing up as he gave Marion the go-ahead score moments ago, courtesy of Aaron Price down on the field.
1:16 to go. First and 10 for Collinsville from their own 37-yard line.
Looking is Wilkinson, scrambling, trying to get out of bounds, and Malachi Cooper slams him to the turf, and a late hit flag comes as they say Wilkinson was out of bounds.
I don't know about all that.
Oh.
Hands were on him a lot further inbounds than that. Some questionable calls tonight from the officiating crew. Wow.
There's the Marion Maniacs trying to fire up the crowd for this big fourth quarter, 1:08 game on the line drive on homecoming.
I mean, look at that. That's a huge penalty moving them across the 50.
15-yard penalty. Ball spotted at the Marion 48-yard line. First and 10 Collinsville.
Collinsville still got all 3 of their timeouts to play with, too.
First and 10 from the 48 now. Wilkinson, screen pass. Not much there as they played it conservative to Matt Reynolds.
And I tell you what, Collinsville's got to hurry up, but they're going to have to call one.
I think they might have. So with 58 seconds to go, Collinsville's going to burn their first timeout of the half. Trying to drive, game on the line. It's homecoming. Marion up 7.
Curious what's been going on at the Marion Mall? You're in luck. October 3rd and 4th at the Oasis Grand Re-Unclosing, we aren't only showing off our RV and power sports inventory, we're showing off all the that's been going on inside the mall as well. More RVs, more ATVs, more You don't want to miss out. Trust us. Tons of new from the ones who more better. Oasis Power Sports and RV. We more better.
What a game this has been. It's going to come down to the final 58 seconds. The fans who are still here at Wildcat Stadium on their feet down below us. An instant classic, one to remember here on homecoming. This is a senior class that has not beat Collinsville during their high school careers. The last time Collinsville was here for homecoming, Marion lost 57-0. The flea flicker with the game on the line. Picked off! Blake Winters picked it off! Game-sealing interception, Blake Winters. And Marion's gonna win it. Marion's gonna win it. Blake Winters, the senior on homecoming. Collinsville called the flea flicker out of the timeout. It was Reynolds throwing intended for their top receiver, Loyal Patterson. And a fan favorite in the comments down below, Blake Winters went up and got it to seal it.
Man, Riley, I tell you what, you're going to have to pick my jaw up off the floor for me. I did not see that coming. First was so thrown at the flea flicker, and then he even ballsier, I think, to throw it into the double coverage. And Winters goes up and makes the big play. And every time I've thought that this Wildcat crowd was the loudest it's been tonight, it gets even louder. What a play for homecoming.
Comments going wild down below. And wow, we're going to have our hands full picking a player of the game tonight. Contributions from so many different guys. And Marion is in the victory formation on homecoming. Collinsville's coach comes all the way near the middle of the field to call that timeout. He got right in the referee's face. Maybe some frustration mounting as part of that, but going back to that flea flicker gauge, and we're not sure if we had a view of that one from down on the sideline, and Aaron Price working down there might not have even seen that one coming, but it was like Reynolds had his mind made up, like, hey, this is my shot, I never throw the ball, I'm a senior receiver, here it is. They throw it to him, and he was like, screw it, I'm throwing it. And he just threw it up, and there's Blake going up to get it. And the celebration was on.
I tell you what, man, we've talked about it all night. The Mike Tyson punches right there. That might have been Holyfield biting off. That might have been an ear bite. That was just an absolutely insane way to cap off a huge Wildcat victory, because Collinsville's coach can get as fired up as they want, but he's got one timeout left, and the play clock is in the Wildcats' favor.
So Collinsville will still have one more timeout to stop it if they choose. Roper trying to take a knee, and Collinsville hit him, and Roper's upset about it. And for good reason. Roper's just trying to take a knee and get out of here with the win, and Collinsville tried to hit him. And Roper was upset. You don't see that much emotion from Callahan. So it'll be third down, and this place is silent after that, but Collinsville used another timeout, and really if you're Collinsville right now, Gage, the point of those timeouts is just to try to force Marion to snap it and hope that you have a bad snap, and being backed up this far, bad snap, you could pick it up in the end zone or something. Just trying to make Marion line up again instead of just go ahead and accepting the defeat.
Yeah, and I mean, kudos to them for not accepting it, but I think you kind of might have to. I mean, he gets this ball right here. He takes the knee. If he is able to get a couple of steps back, the play clock's 40 seconds. And even if they get a fourth down, what are you going to do in 3 seconds?
Right. Yeah, the odds are not in Collinsville's favor by any means, but they have been outscored 3 scores in this second half after they had a 2-score lead at halftime and all but collapsed here in the second half.
I mean, is it not crazy to think that the first time the Wildcats led all night in the final minute of the game?
That is a stat to circle if you're keeping track at home. Blake Winters is going to take a handoff, and he's going to go to the house.
Oh!
Blake Winters had the ceiling interception, and Marion's saying, if you're not going to let us kneel it, we're going to take it 85 yards to the house.
It's coming back because of a block.
Oh, man.
I mean, either way.
I bet our guys at home like that one in the comments down below. It's coming back, but yeah, Marion decided to hand it off as they said, hey, if you're not going to let us just take the victory formation and kneel it out, we're going to hand it off. And Blake Winters nearly broke an 85-yard score.
And that's one way to take some time off the clock.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, that definitely put the clock in Marion's favor, and Coach Dunning and the referee over here on this near sideline are talking it through. Penalty was declined. They say touchdown.
Huh?
They say the penalty was declined and the touchdown stands. Collinsville declined the penalty and let Marion have their touchdown.
Okay.
There's a Christmas gift from Collinsville. So Blake Winters' 85-yard score stands. They had Marion for holding, but Collinsville said, we'll accept the defeat now. And Marion all of a sudden is going to have a 2-touchdown win.
What a bizarre ending to this game. And Winters hadn't scored, I don't think. Okay, I got to look now at my notes, but now he scored twice in the final minute. Or, well, not scored twice, but made 2 big plays. But still, I just can't believe what's going on right now. I'm kind of baffled.
Wow. Who saw that one coming? If you're somehow betting on this game, that was bad for the spread. But 48-35 Marion lead. Adkins with the chance to make it a 14-point lead. And to add to your ending gauge, the point after, of course, is blocked. But still.
Are we sure there's not a punked camera somewhere?
No one saw this ending coming, as Marion will now have outscored Collinsville by 4 scores in the second half.
I mean, when you want to talk about keeping your poise, the Wildcats had every bit of momentum against them. Could have very easily given up a score on that first drive of the second half, and we'd been looking at a coasting game for the K-Hawks. And
that's what it was last week.
Just didn't let up.
Right. Yeah, they learned their lessons from the hard losses to Cahokia and Centralia in back-to-back weeks where they found themselves down and then kind of let it spiral. Tonight, they got up off the mat and kept punching back, as we've used that analogy all night long. And now with 27 seconds to go, Adkins will onside kick it, of course. And Collinsville,
I think they're just trying to get the football bingo card marked off, because I don't know where that onside kick is coming from either.
So 25 seconds to play. And you would think Collinsville will just be intent. If they decline that penalty, surely you're not going to try to Hail Mary or anything here.
You know what? I wouldn't put anything past them.
Collinsville's out of timeouts. Marion has 2, but that shouldn't matter.
Well, they're going to make a play.
They're not lined up to down it, so I mean, they just gave Marion 6 points. They're going to go for it. Wilkinson's going to air it out, and nearly an interception as Cooper nearly got in on the fun. And an interesting segment of play calls here from Collinsville. You decline the penalty, give Marion the points. Then you send the block unit out to block the PAT.
Yeah, I really like. I guess you just want a couple extra downs because I mean you're not gonna get. I mean you have to have a crazy kickoff thing happen, and you have to score in like 5 seconds.
Wilkinson with 15 seconds is gonna be sacked, and that should do it. And you're also putting your senior quarterback in jeopardy of getting injured. And Coach Dunning senses it now as he just threw his hands up to celebrate. Coach Dunning gets the killer C's off his back, and Marion finally gets a win over one of the teams that has haunted the senior class and Coach Dunning over the last 3 years. After losing to Collinsville as sophomores on homecoming 57-0, Marion wins tonight 48-35 in one of the craziest high school football games you'll ever see.
I mean, what an absolutely insane ending, and a ribbon with a sack from Twitty to wrap up the end of an insane homecoming victory.
Marion snaps the 2-game losing streak.
For first of the all-time Marion career touchdown record. Congratulations to Callahan.
We just heard something over the public address announcer that interrupted my train of thought there. Callahan Roper is now Marion's all-time career leader in passing yards, passing Matt Brown tonight.
I mean, what a game that the Wildcats had here in the second half. Just impressive drive after impressive drive, and every time they needed an answer, they were able to make it happen. While it might not have been the prettiest win, I think this is the biggest win for the Wildcats mentally so far in the year.
Maybe in the Coach Dunning era, as they needed this one. As I mentioned earlier, a few years back, they started 4-0 and lost the last 5 to miss the playoffs. After 2 straight losses, you started to wonder, are they collapsing? Are they going to fall apart like they did a couple years ago? But the growth, that group was sophomores when the losing streak to end the season happened. The growth from that first year under Dunning when those guys were sophomores to now the third year when these guys are seniors, to find a way to regroup, make some corrections, go into halftime and come out in the second half and outscore Collinsville to go from trailing by 2 scores to winning by 2 scores. A 4-touchdown swing, Gage, is just huge.
Yeah, just an absolute all-around performance from the Wildcats. So many guys getting involved. It was Thomas really leading the charge for most of this game, but in the locker room, the team really got themselves together and had an absolutely insane game.
Comment from Brad Poole pointing out that they had to decline the penalty in order to get the ball back. That was strategic by Collinsville in order to not just let the clock run out. So that was maybe the thinking behind why they allowed Marion to go ahead and score on that Blake Winters 85-yard run. A lot of twists and turns to end this game. A lot of coaching strategy involved. A lot of game planning and gamemanship both ways in a hard-fought battle by both the K-Hawks and the Wildcats. Quick pointing out here, Roper is now the career leader for passing touchdowns, not passing yards. He passed Matt Brown with the 29-yard scoring pass to Junius Thomas to put Marion ahead. They're sorry to tie the game late in this game. Lots of notes to try to keep track of down the stretch. We're going to try to figure out, make sense of it, and come back to recap it with our Deaconess Illinois Medical Center post-game show. Gage and I will try to find a way to explain the ending to this game when we come back. We'll have our Hub Recreation Center players of the game, plural. Lots of stars in this one. We'll hear from an emotional Coach Jason Dunning. Down on the field, Aaron Price is working hard to get all those interviews back up to us. So don't go anywhere. Stay down in the comments below. Stay tuned in as we still have plenty more before we sign off here from Wildcat Stadium.
Hi, Wildcat fans. I'm Brad Poole, president of the Watermark Auto Group. I invite you to come experience the fastest, friendliest, and fairest car buying in our little corner of the world. Our friendly sales representatives will provide you in writing with our best price, trade value, monthly payments, all within minutes of your request. No pressure, no hurdles, no tricks, and no surprises. Experience the Watermark difference for yourself at Watermark Ford Hyundai or Watermark Nissan of Marion. Fast, friendly, fair. That's Watermark.
Curious what's been going on at the Marion Mall? You're in luck. October 3rd and 4th at the Oasis Grand Re-Unclosing, we aren't only showing off our RV and power sports inventory, we're showing off all the that's been going on inside the mall as well. More RVs, more ATVs, more You don't want to miss out. Trust us. Tons of new from the ones who more better. Oasis Power Sports and RV. We more better.
The teachers are really good, they're understanding.
All of our faculty here teach from experience.
I love it. It's so hands-on.
They want to see us succeed.
There's so many options, so many things they can choose from.
I wasn't just another statistic out there.
My advisors and my professors have been very helpful.
I've felt completely at home from the first day.
Everyone has been so welcoming and helpful and encouraging. It's made it really easy. So I would for sure recommend John A.
Hey y'all, it's me, Willie the Wildcat. I'm here to tell you about the official Wildcat Gameday shirts brought to you by Swinford Media Group. Whether you're cheering under the Friday night lights or packing the gym for basketball season, these shirts are the perfect way to show your Wildcat pride. Order yours now at swinfordmediagroup.com.
No matter the length of your journey, come discover the savings during the Columbus Day sale at Anderson's family of stores, where we've got savings of up to 25% off store-wide on thousands of items in stock and ready for immediate delivery, or receive up to 5 years no interest. And we provide same-day delivery on most mattresses, up to 25% off store-wide or 5 years interest-free financing at our Columbus Day sale, only at Anderson's family of stores.
Anderson's Furniture and Mattress.
Provide both surgical and non-surgical management for musculoskeletal conditions. In fact, about 1 out of 10 patients I see in the clinic actually come to surgery. The other 9 out of 10 we can treat and manage non-surgically. I don't require referrals. Patients can come to see me straight away. My philosophy again is optimize non-surgical treatment before I perform surgery. Once I do surgery, unfortunately, I'm a perfectionist. My wife gives me a hassle. If I'm in the room and this picture on the wall is crooked, I will fix it, even in your house. I think part of that is the masonry background, because everything's got to be, again, plumb level and as close to perfect as you can achieve. You can shoot for perfection, accept excellence. That's my rule.
At The Hub, we're not just a fitness center. We're a community powered by people who care. Our dedicated staff will guide you every step of the way on our world-class fitness floor. Dive into fun in our aquatics center. And with our fitness and aquatics classes, there's something for everyone. Join us for family events that bring our community closer. We're people-powered and we are here for you, creating a fitness experience that feels like family. Join us today at The Hub, where health and happiness meet.
Marion outscored Collinsville 33-7 in the second half to rally after being down 2 scores at the break to get out of here with the thrilling 48-35 homecoming win. What a game this was, a game for the ages, a game to remember, and one that this senior class winning on their homecoming, one of our Watermark Auto Group keys to the game in the pregame. Send the senior class out with a win on their homecoming, and they certainly did that tonight. They snapped the 2-game skid, which was another one of our Watermark Auto Group keys to the game, and they got the monkey off their back gauge, the killer C's, as we call them, Centralia, Cahokia, Collinsville, Carbondale. This Marion coaching staff has not had any luck, only beating Carbondale last year against that group of teams, and tonight they snapped the 2-game losing streak to Collinsville and avenged that last time Collinsville came here to homecoming when these guys were sophomores. Instead of 57-0, this one feels a little bit sweeter.
Yeah, and I mean, just a nice job of Marion finally feeling like they're able to get over the hump. There's been multiple games now where Marion finds themselves behind early and they've had to dig themselves out of the hole, which they were able to do early on in the season, but have struggled to do so as of late. And today, when it felt like all the odds were against them, in that second half, they came out swinging and responded in the way that they needed to. I mean, being able to hold them to just a touchdown after it looked like Wilkinson was unstoppable in that first half. It just speaks to the adjustments that the Wildcats were able to make at halftime and the resiliency of this group.
Great job by the coaching staff to make those adjustments, rally the troops at halftime. Marion looked like a much different team in the second half than they did in the first half. And all starts at quarterback tonight. Marion's now all-time career leader in passing touchdowns. Passing Matt Brown is Callahan Roper, number 2. He had that pick in the first half, and as we talked about off air before we went live tonight, Gage, in those losses, Marion has had interceptions, and you thought, oh no, there's an interception. Maybe this is going to be one of those bad games. But Marion was able to regroup, and Callahan Roper himself was able to regroup. And a couple of the throws tonight, he had guys in his grill. That one pass that stands out to Max Wade late as a part of that go-ahead drive, he took a blow to the head and still completed the pass. It was just a gutsy effort by number 2 tonight on his senior homecoming.
Yeah, this was the most poise I think we saw from Roper and just the Marion offense in general so far this season. Did a nice job of not losing his head, keeping his calm, and was able to bounce back despite some mistakes that they made throughout their drives.
Let's go ahead and talk about some more big players, big leaders in this game, candidates for our Hub Recreation Center Player of the Game as we go inside the numbers, brought to you by Kemper CPA Group LLP.
Yeah, and of course, as we mentioned, first and foremost, Roper taking the sole leadership of career passing touchdowns in Wildcat history with his 4 touchdowns, despite having the 1 pick. And I couldn't even begin to try to count how many yards by myself, because then you'd never hear me talk.
Right. No, we'll have to tally that up and bring that to you in the print edition of the Marion Star newspaper next week. But also, if, like we've talked about, if he's slinging around and having that much success, the guys catching it are going to have a big game as well. And
absolutely,
Junius Thomas and Logan Hoffman, Max Wade, we could go down the list, but those 3 guys catching the ball tonight really made their impact.
Yeah, Thomas had 3 touchdowns himself with easily 100-plus yards receiving, and he might have honestly clipped that in the first half.
Right.
Winters had that late rushing touchdown, had a 2-point conversion to go along with his late big pick that kind of felt like the true nail in the coffin in this game. Broomfield had a keeper, Hazel had a keeper, and then Jaden Twitty put the bow on the win with the sack. So those ground game touchdowns all coming in that second half really made a difference for this Wildcat offense.
Yeah, lots of big plays, lots of big moments in this game. Aaron Price is down on the field getting interviews with our head coach, Jason Dunning, and the players of the game that we'll show you in just a moment. Here's a look back at some of those moments in the game. There's a big play by Junius Thomas. He made several big plays tonight. The other thing to note, as among those big plays, is that Sam Atkins, one of Marion's big playmakers, was limited to just doing the kicking tonight. He was not able to line up at receiver after suffering a shoulder injury last week against Centrelli. He's hoping to get back to full strength by the end of the season. But other guys had to step up. Junius Thomas carrying a bulk of the load as you saw him in those clips. Here's Blake Winters, who, much to the joy of our commenters down below, had himself a big game. There's just one of his big plays there. I believe that was that was early in this game when Marion was trailing. And then there's Broomfield punching in, as Gage mentioned. He always is a threat in those short yardage situations. He's Marion's backup quarterback, but they go to him in those situations. Here's the big play by Max Wade that really kind of jump-started that rally, really kind of put the momentum on Marion's side. That was early in the second half when Marion needed an answer after it felt like Collinsville was taking control. There's a little celebration there. Then here's Roper slinging it across the middle. Junius Thomas wide open for 30 yards to the house. Lots of big plays and too many to choose really as our thrilling moment of the game. That pass and catch we thought was one of the best ones of the season right there. Logan Hoffman from Callahan Roper. Then we had Hazel coming up the middle. He was fired up. Good angle there from Aaron Price down on the field. Then Callahan Roper there took the blow to the head, then found Max Wade right there to set up the go-ahead score. He was brought down at the 17. And then moments later, they swung it out to Junius Thomas, who was still on his feet as he was proud of himself for that one, celebrating on homecoming. And then with the game all but decided, a Collinsville tried the flea flicker out of desperations, and Blake Winters went up and got it to officially kind of seal it. And if he needed anywhere else to celebrate, they ended up handing it to him after trying to kneel it and go into the victory formation. And then Collinsville, in hopes of trying to keep some more time on the clock, declined the penalty. There was a hold on Marion, but they let the 85-plus yard run from Winters stand. And so lots of players of the game to possibly name tonight, but we're going to name a slew of them. We're going to hand out a lot of Hub Recreation Center players of the game. We're going to make Olivia over there at the Hubs job hard on Monday with these posts. Blake Winters, Junius Thomas, Max Wade, Callahan Roper, and Hudson Wade are Hub Recreation Center players of the game. There you see Blake Winters. He had the interception and touchdown to seal it. Junius Thomas was big all night, including the go-ahead score. Max Wade had big catches all night long, including that big 70-plus yarder early in the second half to shift the momentum on Marion's side. Hudson Wade, the senior linebacker, really the emotional leader of this defense. And then Callahan Roper, who there's Max Wade, who had that big touchdown early in the second half, had that nice catch to set up the final go-ahead score as well. And then Callahan Roper moving into the record books as Marion's career leader for passing touchdowns. Lots of candidates tonight, lots of winners. There's so many other guys, too, we could have given it to as well, Gage. And really, in a game like this, you might as well give it to the whole team.
Yeah, it's true full-team effort through and through. When it seems like it was only Thomas and Roper really getting things going early on in the second half, they spread the ball around, got a number of guys involved, and it really opened things up for this game. And once, like you mentioned, Wade got that big touchdown where it seemed like it was barely going to be a first down, and he really hit a second gear of sorts and found his way to the end zone.
I believe it was the first play of that drive as well.
Yeah, I mean, really just sparked the entire crowd, had the sideline going, and that was what they really needed to swing momentum back their way.
Aaron Price got to talk to all those players of the game down on the field moments ago. Here is what all the stars of tonight's game told our reporter Aaron Price down on the field following this big homecoming win.
We're here with some of the stars of tonight's game after the big 48-35 win, Wildcat win over Collinsville tonight. This is your guys' homecoming game. Callahan, you had a big accomplishment tonight. Tell everyone what that is and just how it feels to have a big win on homecoming night tonight.
Well, I passed for 400 yards, which has never been done in school history. And then I think they also said I have the most touchdown passes in school history. Yeah. So that's cool. Let's go, baby.
And the homecoming win tonight, too.
Yes, sir. That's all that matters, the team win. I'm glad we played well and we bounced back in the second half.
Blake Winters, man, you had an amazing game. You had a pick and then the touchdown to seal this game. How'd that feel?
Good. They told me to go down, and I saw it, and I was like, there's no way. I'm going. I'm scoring.
Absolutely. And Junius Thomas, you had the go-ahead score as well to put a lot of energy into your offense. Talk about your all-around effort in this game.
Yeah, I'm just trying to do my part to help the team win. You know, playing on both sides of the ball, I'm always trying to play at 100% to give us that edge on the game.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations, guys. We love seeing you play, and we'll see you next week against Carbondale. Congrats.
Thanks to Aaron Price for his help down on the field. Congratulations to those guys. And nice note there from Callahan. Went over 400 yards tonight, Gage. They say that's never been done in school history.
Yeah, and he'd come close to that mark once earlier this season. I think he was like a completion away from it. They gave him a chance and then kind of pulled the plug in a blowout victory, as you would.
At Althoff, yeah.
But I mean, just another huge mark and another spot for his name in the record books now as he continues his impressive senior season.
Coach Dunning was emotional and fired up after this win for good reason. For the first time in his career, beating Collinsville, the turnaround from a couple of years ago, the way he felt on homecoming when it was 57-0. Here was Aaron Price with Coach Dunning down on the field moments ago.
1 second. All right. All right, we're here with Wildcats head coach Jason Dunning. Man, talk about a comeback win tonight. You guys didn't have the best first quarter, but you came back and you fired on all cylinders. How does it feel to get this crucial win?
Oh, it's huge. You know, these guys, first of all, this senior class has never beat Collinsville. And they came in here 2 years ago and put 59 on us, and the guys just kept battling. And we just kept asking them, let's get back to who we are. We had 4 good weeks of playing
family style, complimentary football, and then we had 2 weeks where we kind of got away from that. And my coaches were right. We found our identity. Wildcats came back. We didn't change anything. It wasn't a, big rah-rah, da-da-da speech at halftime. It was just simply get back to the coaching, get back to the fundamentals of what we do. It makes us successful.
Big win over Collinsville. You guys are deeper into the season now. What does this win mean to your crew?
Oh, I think it just proves that we keep talking about excellence and we talk about the standard and play into that. And now we're back on track. And now we just we just play and do what we do. We got Carbondale next week, and then we have Mattoon back here for senior night. But I'm so happy that we just asked the guys just to play at halftime, and they came back and battled and just played, did everything we asked. Hats off to them. Hats off to these seniors, getting them back and seeing them have fun playing this game.
And lastly, talk about Blake Winters. He had a pick and the touchdown to seal the game. Callahan Roper, he's Marion's all-time leader for passing yards. Talk a little bit about that.
Hey, absolutely. Blake has turned into a phenomenal football player. He does everything. He's on kickoff return, played defense, got a pick. He's kind of the engine that kind of runs the team. Callahan's just Mr. Consistency. He does what he does. We knew it was going to come, and I think there's going to be a little bit of pressure that we're done. There's no more what ifs. He's now the man, and hats off to him. Proud of his career, and we're not done yet. So outstanding.
Good win tonight, Coach. Thank you. Thank you.
Great job, Aaron Price, down on the field doing those interviews. We thank him for his help tonight. Total team effort for the Wildcats, total team effort for Swinford Media Group. Gage, it's been another fun one working with you up here tonight. What's your final thoughts before we sign off?
Well, first, I think Dunning was trying to hold back his excitement there. That he was about to burst, and I can't blame him. Such an impressive win on a big night like homecoming. And this is one that people are going to remember for a long time. It was an all-out performance from a number of guys. Had the highlight plays that you want to see. I mean, we couldn't even pick one as our thrill play of the game. So, I mean, just so many big moments throughout the game when early on it looked bleak for the Wildcats. So a huge win for them, not only for their playoff hopes, but also just mentally having that going into these next two big games.
William Bateman will try to make a recap of all of that we saw tonight. This game had a little bit of everything. He'll have that in the print edition of the Marion Star next week. Ross will try to get those highlights put together, and we'll show them to you before the game next week when we're at Carbondale, 6:15 Binkley-Ross Funeral Home pregame show. Got to turn the page and go get another one as Marion improves to 4-3. A win next week would make them playoff eligible. You went out, you're guaranteed the playoff spot and a chance to go into the postseason at 6-3. Collinsville falls to 3-4. They'll be playing for their postseason life next week as they will have to Collinsville will have to go home and play Cahokia, so it doesn't get any easier for Collinsville as they will have Cahokia and Triad for their last two games of the regular season. Marion will be back here at Wildcat Stadium in Week 9 for senior night against Mattoon on the 24th. After an exciting game to remember here on homecoming, we're ready to sign off from Wildcat Stadium. For Gage Johnson, who had the color commentary, for Ross Swinford, who was on the controls, Abby Collum helping out here tonight in the booth, Aaron Price down on the field doing the reporting. I'm Riley Swinford on behalf of Swinford Media Group. Thank you so much for watching. It'll be a busy day of football tomorrow. Tune into our WFCN News Game of the Week as Franklin County bragging rights are on the line between West Frankfort and Benton. And SIU will go to number 1 ranked North Dakota State in a battle of two teams ranked in the top 10 in North Dakota at the Fargo Dome tomorrow. Good night from Wildcat Stadium.
Thanks for watching this live stream of Marion High School athletics on the Wildcat Gameday. The action is brought to you by the Swinford Media Group and all of our sponsors. Watermark Auto Group, John A. Logan College, Black Diamond Family of Businesses, Illinois Army National Guard, Deaconess Illinois Medical Center, Binkley-Ross Funeral Home, Legence Bank, First Southern Bank, Bank of Herrin, Banterra Bank, Garner State Farm Insurance, Paul Jacobs for Senate, SouthernTrust Bank, Marion Plumbing, Austin Dickson, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Anderson Boys Trash Service, The Roofing Guys, Anderson's Furniture, SIU Credit Union, Clark Natural Stone, Kemper CPA Group, Wit Wisdom, The Hub Recreation Center, The Print Shop, Blush and Ivory Bridal Boutique,